is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look to the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it a go stop, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right there, that's a stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to those in television land. Happy Friday to our silent supporters. Happy Friday to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much as usual for tuning in. Hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week and looking forward to some rest on the weekend. Remember guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can, and if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. And a special shout out to all our channel members and to all our moderators. Tonight's topic is Dismantling NHT Original Mandate with your host Mystic Sensation and also Melting Pot. Let me just go ahead and welcome those in the chat. Carla Ebanks, Jasande Bless, Rosa, Beverly, Christopher Lawrence, June, Kingston Story, George Beckford, bless up yourself, Melting Pot. All right, so thank you guys, and without any delay, I am going to hand over to Byron.
All right, thank you for that, honey, as usual, for that wonderful precursor.
So well, Fiona, bless up yourself. Troy Brown, bless up yourself.
All right, and let me say, Umbrella, welcome to all the persons in the chat and all our listeners, both home and abroad, right? Once again, we say big welcome to you all. Love the energy that we are getting over here, right? Tonight, of course, we are going to be dealing with some interesting topic, right? And of course, we are going to, of course, enlighten our people. But before we proceed in the program, let us just have Brother Melting Pot, right? Meet and greet his wonderful people as usual. Brother Melting Pot, meet and greet.
Good night to everyone tuning in once again to the Mystic Sensation live program. You know, the Friday night edition is the segment where get everybody wind down the weekend, relaxing and feeling well within themselves, after a productive week. So, once again, greetings as usual to everyone, woman in the diaspora. Special greetings to my family down in Brown Tier as usual. I must keep you at the forefront of my thought as always. And to my many wonderful comrades right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, pick up on yourself everyone there. Enough love to the 2 Mile Lights. Enough love to the Greenwich Farm Heights. Walthamites, Maxwellites. Yeah, you don't know the works. As usual, enough blessing, comrade. I say one love to all. And to my, distinguished host, Sir Lord Byron, big up yourself as usual. To our wonderful technical director, Lady Anne Marie with the gold finger. Big up same way. And back the floor to the host.
All right. Thank you for that melting pot. And we are not going to waste any time. We are just going to get into the program because we have a lot to cover tonight. Now, Jamaica, earlier today on my live, we were actually talking about certain situation with the PSOJ, right, not calling out the plain criminality with the Jamaica Labour Party. Remember, when you come over here, we don't mince word over here. We call a spade a spade. We are dealing with a banana republic. We are dealing with a kleptocratic government, right? And we are going to deal with it accordingly. Now, having said that, I am going to show you full evidence as it relates to PSOJ complicity, right? And of course, the director, right, the board of directors, right, for the tourist board, Jamaica Tourist Board. And before I get into that, right, I am going to show you a very sustainable, right, course where the Jamaica Labour Party administration, right, in alignment with those, right, that the elite of the Jamaican society, right, as it relates to, the Brian Jordan, the stewards who control, right, the tourist board, and the PSOJ, right, who control, and the suffrage that they are putting our people, right, under, right? The viciousness of the government, the PSOJ, and the tourist board, directors of tourist board. And what I mean is to the fact that they are now running programs that is not beneficial to the working class, particularly for those who work in the tourism sector. A continuation of viciousness, partially slavery and trickery that the government aligned with. There you go in terms of when I say that this government can do anything and get away with it, right? And PSOJ, you understand, will not say anything, right? Because they are getting all the benefits. Can you imagine that people who work in the tourism industry have to be signing, right, contracts with a quarterly, right, or yearly? And what that does, it cripples all these people to gain any meaningful benefit through the government like NHT. Come on, Jamaica, I want you to pay attention to this. And I want for every hoteliers understand that what they are doing is viciousness, is cruelty. When you have our Jamaican people working on a contractual basis and that they have to renew their contract, right, quarterly, right, or half of the year, or yearly. So there is no benefit. And Jamaica, the government, Andrew Holness administration align itself with that. For these people, right, the elites of the society, to continue to manipulate our people. And I am talking against all hoteliers who are doing it. Of the Jamaican workers and contract. This is a fundamental thing again, as it relates to what Michael Manley had found foreigner. Remember Jamaica, that Michael Manley rigidly fight, right, for 40 hours work and to be paid 40 hours. And this administration, as a result of the criminality, the viciousness that Andrew Holness is doing, is in alignment with all of these hoteliers to treat our Jamaican in a very despicable way. Now, you tell me now, I want Andrew Holness, this is what I want Andrew Holness to come out and speak on. So and I'm defending all the hotel workers tonight. You tell me, when a hotel worker, right, who worked for said 6 or 10 years, right, for a particular hotel, and have to be signing an and a half contract, no permanent employment, that particular worker doesn't get any benefit. No severance when they are terminated. Because Andrew Holness administration, along with the PSOJ, along with the board of directors for tourism, continue to perform plantation slavery. So what they are performing is what we call a plantocracy. And Andrew Holness aligned with that. Andrew Holness agreed with that. These are the persons who back Andrew Holness, right, political campaign, so that they can get away with this, so that Andrew Holness can play a blind eye with this, cheating our people out of beach access, and now taking away all the benefits from our people. So it's a slavery mechanism in Jamaica right now as it relates to tourism. Let Mystic Sensation tell them that. A slavery mentality being instituted under the Andrew Holness administration, having these hoteliers working our people without providing them no benefits. My Jamaican people, listen to our comrade sisters. And that is one of the reasons why, right, our PNP members of parliament are fighting on behalf of us. I am going to play a clip and I want you to listen. And when you listen, we are going to build an energy around this. This must be stopped. This must stop. This must stop. We can't have our people being treated like this. You are going to tell me, Jamaica, look into it, for all hotel workers who've been working might be 10, 15 years on contract. Come on. So at the end of 10, 15 years, right, they just kick him out, boot him out. Nothing he will get. Unbelievable. This is despicable.
That's why the people now need to stand up for themselves too.
And you are going to tell me now, Andrew Holness, you don't know of this? Andrew Holness, you don't know of this? I am going to reveal all those board of directors who are doing this, and all of them are complicit. Now, Jamaica, listen to this. Play the clip, honey. The thing burn me. So, hey, listen, my man, a lot of wickedness Andrew Holness are doing now. Right? This is so unbelievable. So unbelievable. Right? You can't, we can't make up this. Jamaican people, come on. And we stand by. Right? And we are just allowing this to happen. Oh my God, I don't know what it... Listen, people, listen to this.
Is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
This is Andrea Perkis, opposition spokesperson on tourism and linkages. Today, I am speaking out about a systematic injustice that has been hiding in plain sight for far too long. Right now, hundreds of our hotel workers are sitting at home in the wake of Hurricane Melissa, facing absolute uncertainty about their futures. They don't know if they have a job to go back to, and that is a disgrace. Here is the reality we must confront. Up to 90% of Jamaica's hotel workers are employed on rolling short-term contracts. They work 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year, and then just before they qualify for the protections they are legally entitled to, they are given a calculated contract break, an artificial gap designed specifically to reset the clock so the employer can deny them their rights. Let me be clear, this is not flexible working. This is a legal trap. Hurricane Melissa has exposed just how cruel this system is. Workers who have given years of loyal service to the same property now face the very real possibility that their contracts simply won't be renewed. But the storm did not create this vulnerability. The contract system did. And the injustice runs even deeper because their employment history looks like a series of broken contracts on paper. These workers cannot properly benefit from the national insurance scheme they have paid into. They cannot access bank loans. They cannot secure a mortgage. They have built Jamaica's most valuable export industry, yet they cannot build a home of their own. I am calling directly on the Minister of Labour and the Minister of Tourism to act without delay. We need to amend the legislation now to recognize continuity of employment based on the actual working relationship, not the contractual tricks designed to evade it. Our tourism workers have served this industry and this country with absolute distinction. They deserve the full protection of our laws, not a system engineered to rob them of their rights. The time for action is now.
At pnp.org.jm or check us out on Facebook at Jamaica.
Because my blood a boil. Jamaica, my blood the boil. When me tell you say my blood a boil. My blood a boil. My blood a boil. Let me just breathe on a little bit. Let me just breathe a little bit. Let me just breathe on a little bit. Because I don't know if Mrs. Andrea Perkis did not identify a major wrong. Let me speak it so Miss Perkis can also be aware of this trickery. So the trickery that being designed, let me talk to Jamaica. Jamaica, listen to me. The trickery being designed, as according to what Comrade Sister Andrea Perkis said, 90%. Jamaica, listen. Jamaica, lend me your ears tonight. Please, I am asking, I am begging you. Lend me your ears tonight. 90% of our hotel workers being placed on and off contract. Strategically and skillfully denying them of the NHT benefits and the NIS and all of that. But you know what is wrong too? Guess what? For the contractual period on it that they are working, these employers draw from them salary the taxes. They draw from their salary the taxes. So obviously what it appears that they use them to also make money. So then if you're working for 3 months and me draw NHT, NIS, Ed tax, and then at the end of your contract, I am not going to pay it over to the government. So you deny the government revenues. You deny government revenues. It is the same thing Big Mama have done. Let me tell you something, Jamaica. The very same thing Big Mama, NNN, has been doing for years, denying the country revenues, stealing from the country. Andrew Holness permit him to do that. Andrew Holness permit the tourism industry to carry off that sort of plantation slavery. 100% plantocracy going on there. Jamaican people, want to hear this? I wonder if I am getting through. Jamaican people, listen to me. Let me expose the chink them. Let me expose the old dirty chink them. Put them up. Make us show Jamaica the people who are sabotaging our people. Put them up. Let me expose the chink them. The real vampire. Right? The chronic capitalist. See them here? Jamaica Tourist Board. Come down, people. You see them here? Board of Directors. John Lynch, Chairman. John Biles, Deputy Chairman. Nicole Madden, Greg, Director. Robin Russell. This the one where own Pier 1, you know. See him son here? Robin Russell. A Pier 1 this, you know. This is Mr. Russell's son, Keith Russell's son, you know. Robin Russell, you know. Right? Pier 1. I'll be a labor right there, you know. Adam Stewart, see him here? Adam Stewart, Bush Stewart's son, Director. Joseph Forsmary, Director. Peer labor right there, you know. Fred Smith, Director. Philip Affa, Hyacinth Lightbourne, Tanik McClarky Allen, Donovan White, all of them. You see why? Move it away. You see why? Andrew Holness don't need to sign the code of conduct. You see why Andrew Holness don't need to sign the code of conduct. You see why Andrew Holness can allow to get away not having the statutory declaration certified. You see the reason? That is the reason. That is the reason. The Board of Directors for Tourism, full of labor rights, full of crony capitalists, and Andrew Holness allowed them to manipulate the Jamaican people who voted him in power. Earlier, before I got this clip, I was saying that the majority of the voting bloc, you understand, is poor people and middle class. If you were at the class earlier, you'd have heard I spoke about that. And here it is, few hours after getting this clip, woo, my point had been proven. The chronic capitalists, the vulture capitalists, right? In collusion with the Jamaica Labour Party government to have our people on contract, collecting the NIS, collecting the NHT from them, and then chop them off. And then they don't even hand over that money to the government. They don't. They keep it. They keep it. So you are working for them. They are drawing from your salary or your pay. NHT, NIS, Ed tax, and all the direct taxes. And yet they are not paying it over. Because your employment is not on a continuous basis. So you are not getting benefit because you're a contract worker. Right? They sign you up for 3 months. Right? You partially, them enslave you for 3 months. Put it this way because it is exactly what it is. They enslave you for 3 months. Right? when your contract ended, your benefits ended. Of all those people who have been paying for that 3 months as it relates to NIS, ed tax, right? Compulsory tax. At the end of their contract, have they gotten back all of those money being withdrawn from them? Have they gotten back all of those money being withdrawn from them? So basically what it seems now, you understand, the government and them, you understand, in collusion, robbing the Jamaican people, enslaving the Jamaican people, and that money now can give to them, you understand, to what? Funnel their campaign. Want to see the criminality what they go on in Jamaica? And the Andrew owners. And the Andrew owners. Now let me ask a question now. We want this to be addressed in Parliament. We are speaking on this. So for the opposition who hearing me, this need to be addressed. We need to stop that sort of contract situation. Remember, you know, the hotel industry had employed a large pool of Jamaican people, you know. Remember, it is the tourism industry is one of the biggest employer, you know. So then, the amount of our people being enslaved by them. 3-month contract, 6-month contract, 1-year contract, and you abuse the people them. What can go so? A systemic disease, and the government know about this. And the government allowed it to happen because they are backing the government campaign. And you unless you're a wicked, dirty criminal. Several ways. You're effing over the Jamaican people. Several ways. Enough is enough. Let me bring in Brother Melting Pot. Brother Melting Pot, what say you on this?
Yes, sir, Byron. Well, this is the ongoing problem we have in Jamaica for the longest while. Yeah. They have always treated the tourist industry as a fragile industry and not as a solid industry that operates all year round with a high volume of bookings. Yeah. So you need people permanently placed in position, man. Come on, man. This can't be no little hanky-panky thing when I run a steamboat contract. Them thing that we cut out. Yeah? And Edmund Bartlett, he need to be held accountable as the man was sell tourism. Him the tourism minister, you know. And him the man we are talking about, you know, Jamaica have a thriving tourism industry and it bring over 5 million people to the country and all this type of crap. But the who are work within the system is being undermined, it's been looked down onto as a slave within Jamaica in modern days because that's what all of these people who working at the hotel in Jamaica, they are just human slave in modern time. Yeah, because when you look at a high percentage of 90% at them on contract, tell you that is only 1 out of 10 get a solid job. Yeah, it's only 1 out of 10 Jamaican who, you know, apply for job here, get a solid job. The rest of them are just riff-raff worker. You come in, if I want to use you, I use you. If I don't want to use you, I refuse you. But then you're talking about an industry that them call brand Jamaica. You understand? Now, if I saw you treat brand Jamaica worker, then will I treat the average worker? That is why we have several problems in several areas in Jamaica as it relates to employment. Yeah, under the government structure, government don't really take employment serious, you know. No, because there's too much loophole. Yeah, that investors who come and invest in Jamaica can exploit. And I mean, these loopholes were primarily designed for these people, specifically as an enticing pill for them come invest in Jamaica. Yeah, because here it is now, none of them people are not getting no benefit when time them getting at them old age, I remember, your contract worker, you can't take, you're not supposed to take nothing out of the money. You don't. So all these NHT, these NIS, education funds and all these things, it now go where to go. Remember, Seaga do the same thing, and end up with 433 million, na statutory deduction from people where they not pay over. The same thing I go on. You know nothing new. When labor right in power, so labor right set the thing. Yeah. Them design the thing to manipulate the thing that it bring pressure upon the people who are working in the environment. Some of them alone reach the gravy train. See how I did it. It's a big mama do it. And when we fully labor right function entity. But when you look on the board of director, there is no diversity as it relates to the structure of the board, I be a labor right to sit back up on there. No, a country cannot run like that. You must go for the best brain and the best technician. You can't use those politician affiliated member, man. Come on, man. This is the problem we have in Jamaica, So even if I am brilliant in the field and industry of tourism, but because I am a PMP supporter, I not get a job under the current government system we are running. But yet still me better every crap with up on the board because I some backer master pick them on the board, Like the bush shot them, And the light burn them, A long time them the backer master, and several more yesterday, Yeah. I'm a wild where by those tourism them study about in our country. Them not have nothing else. That can benefit Jamaica. Destroy them is just tourism. Because that's how we have robbing Jamaica asset and robbing Jamaica workers' right. Yeah. So me as a trade union on the need to go in on this, man. Yeah. It's the all year round industry. Yeah. That carry one of the highest volume of Jamaican being employed to a single entity. Then how it is being run under this type of hanky-panky, management structure as it relates to what workers' right is. That worker on the right. These workers will work 20 years, yeah? And them 20 years with the NHT come off of them wage stub. Worker make sure not have no wage stub, Yeah? Make sure not get some wage stub. All when them put on the wages in a account, them supposed to post on the wage stub. In England, my money go straight to my bank, but my wage slip come on my door. Yeah, so I have all of them pack up here right now, can show people where me I work in England from the time me I work. Yeah, man, me have them right around me right now. So I want to know, not have fun with it, because this must be something that going to court. As a matter of fact, them need to fix it before they move up at the tourism sector. This needs to be fixed before the tourism sector reopen, because we can't facilitate no more of this. When we work out them soul case, but them not no benefit at the end of the day. What happens to them people at pension fund? We not put them money in the pension pot. Because we know that tourism, as something where it's vibrant in Jamaica. Yeah, this is why everybody want to come set up them casino from a beach coast. Some big wealthy entrepreneur from United States want to come see glory from the seashore and set up them casino. The one where people will get paid in Jamaica with this small amount of wage and come to them, the massive. Go on and build casino part. So the casino are built for the big people who come overseas, come smoke them cocaine and play casino. And a lifestyle. So when we see how Trump them and them people are getting involved, they know say graveyard dash we don't have Jamaica people. But not now fall upon the black people them table. If Michael Manley was around, anybody right now we are working at this sector. as it relates to tourism would have been wealthy in terms of your lifestyle and where you accumulate. But if you are working on multi-million, multi-billion industry, but you not get nothing out of it. And at the end of the day, a contract you depend where a man just use you like a doormat and change you. When them see you look, discolored. And this pussy a go on. So we have to call upon the garbage when you head back then. Yeah? The Prime Minister. Yeah? And the trade unionists them need to come and solve this before the tourism get up and running back again. This must not enter into a new phase of operation. Now is the time to fix it while the industry is on temporary pause. Yeah? And so we are asked the opposition spokeswoman, Andrea Perkis, yeah, please put your foot to the metal. Yeah, that's what them said. And get some work going now in regard to saving these people as it relates to their future benefit as people that has worked and contribute to the Jamaica development. You understand? It can't be that it's just politicians and some other big people in our society where we know them are criminal, a benefit, This has to change, man. Then how now will get a level playing field? Eh? That resembles something of substance to the worker. Some worker they way up the and some they down the so. But yet still you share the same economy. The price for your product and my product remain the same. But me have to make substitute and turn me and make fashion. But me I work hard on you, When you just snap your hand and just say, yeah, we want that and the table pull up. This has to change, man. Workers' right must be recognized. Yeah? Workers' right must be recognized. And that's why anything, you see all the Buster man the trade union thing, them me not like that, That anything will labor right name depend, it's bad for Jamaica. Yeah, it's bad for Jamaica. We need to tear down them whole entity. Yeah, them Bacramasa entity there. And form some new entity where I deal with real progress for the people. Yeah? You can't have the bushra them in this thing from daddy and son and the whole of them are rabbit. And all the sister. Yeah? Yeah, the one when married when named Lecky. You understand? She a criminal, Big time criminal. The bars them intertwined with them too. And all of these people are criminal, but you have them around one of the most branded, operation where we have in the country. Yeah, we bring people far and wide to the shores. Yeah, but yet still, when them look on the worker who are serve them, yeah, the worker them look dilapidated. Yeah, you can't see the stress on them. Them come to work just for the sake of coming to work, but they're not happy coming to work. There's no incentive driving them to work. It's just like I have no choice. So me I go in. Yeah, them not have no enthusiasm about the work. Because them can't look on bonus at the end of the year, Them not give them that. Them all make sure them take away them little tip where them used to get. Gratuitous tip from the customer who, reward them for the service for them do. Knowing to the fact that people outside of Jamaica know that Jamaican workers now get filled. Them know. So when them come now, them try to give them a little something, and then you have them inside there, take away from them. Bar them from accepting it all them garbage. Because them just want to keep them poor. Because what they are thinking, once we pay these people, and them get certain things and manifest themselves to a certain height, them all leave the industry. But that is a negative thought. People would have still come and work. Take off the handbrake off of the people them want to have on them, man. Release the people them now. Yeah? When you're there in them environment and you do hospitality service, you must be rewarded in the sense that it's legal to be rewarded. You understand? I work at a place in the UK, a very well known place. Yeah? And my place that I work, I was the head of security. I don't know what provide security. I have the privilege to do security for even the then opposition leader at the time, David Cameron, and his counterpart them. all of the conservative members, them, this man a melting pot provide security to them. Because them use my place. You understand? And we get gratuitous tip, it put on there. And at the end of every 3 months, that cheer up. I saw it run. It cheer right across the board. Remember, I don't do hospitality work like upstairs, you know. I'm just the front of the business, providing security with me and my fellow workers, them. Me are the head of security. You understand? So I know the people that must be looked after, because we were well looked after. It was a conference center that provide telecommunication. I mean, the Conservative Party have them donor in California. And they stream live from there to them party donor in California. Yeah. I can tell people that even the England football manager, George Graham, him came there. And all these things. It was a place that attracted high profile people. And as a black individual, I benefit from the gratuitous tip that they live here. Yeah, I say every 3 months, 90 days, that cheer up. So I don't know what going on in Jamaica. Why the Jamaican administration, them always try to fight the people who work at the sector. Eh? And at the same time, you not pay them nothing. So you still them penny wise and pound food. Make the people them get them little tip. Because you not pay them nothing already, you know, and have them on contract. Yeah? And it has to stop. And I like the passion where you put forward tonight, Sir Byron. You can see it bleed your heart, brother. Yeah, so we have a call from the opposition now. Yeah. Time for you to put on the foot now, you know. September till now, yeah, you must be grounded and feel very comfortable in a parliament. You know, when somehow the new one, when they go in, not a bit uncomfortable because of the first experience of parliament. Now, everything must be coming to come now. You want to feel confident in a parliament when you step in. Yeah, and if you have a table, something on the table, so it table and you can speak on it within due time. Yeah, so everything we want to see that is challenging to the Jamaican people. I don't want to talk on it. Table it. And if the speaker I fight it, go for the party headquarters, go do a press conference on that, man. Yeah, man. I want to do a press conference on that, you know. When you send somebody, when you send the whole minutes come give man like Mystic, man like Lonesome. We play it on the platform. Make people hear it worldwide what I say. So people can't say when not work. A lot of people say when not work, you know. Yeah, because local media will not project the things that we put out. Yeah. When you send them come around on them platform and them get beat out. People hear them right through the week. When you get more value. So you need to start show some how to work. Yeah. Because these are long-standing issues. And if, as opposition, this is where we're supposed to excel. When you see the wrong, you come out and you defend it for the people so them get right. Them get justice. Yeah. Don't make them people that do like what Edward Seaga doing at the time. Collect car Seaga show it up, collect the people their money, you know. In the same hotel industry. Never pay it over. And I think the same ply has been employed. I yield back the floor to the host.
All right. Blessing for that melting pot. So let us explain as it relates to exactly what is happening to the Jamaican people, right? I mean, as it relates to what the opposition spokesperson on tourism is saying, is a systemic, right, design where 90% of hotel workers, right, being employed on a contractual basis. And simple means at the end of the contract, whether it may 3 months or 6 months or a year, right, they just, you know, a thing that's set in place that they have to re-sign, right? And this is now vicious because what happened to all of the, you know, the direct tax that you have been collecting, the NIS, the NHT, and, you know, the egg tax and the, you know, whatever, right? The compulsory tax, and, you know, what happened to that? At the end of the contract, 90% of the hotel workers, right, being employed on a contractual basis. And simple means at the end of the contract, whether it may 3 months or 6 months or a year, right, they just, you know, a thing that's set in place that they have to re-sign, right? And this is now vicious because what happened to all of the, you know, the direct tax that you have been collecting, the NIS, the NHT, and, you know, the egg tax and, you know, whatever, right? The compulsory tax and, you know, whatever. is the system giving back all these people the money, right? Because guess what? They are not going to be benefited. You understand, from an NHT loan. So you're telling me, said you have persons who are working into the hotel sector, right? 5, 10, 15 years. And with all of that service, all of that labor, they are not put into a bracket where they can apply through NHT to get a home. That's why Andrew Holness root out NHT, damaging NHT. Look on the connection, That is one of the reasons why Andrew Holness had damaged the NHT. Because these people, the crony capitalists, are making use of those contributions. And meanwhile, when it comes to election campaign, right, some of these money back the Jamaica Labour Party. It is a cruel action that is going on with the Jamaican people under Andrew Holness administration. That is one of the reasons why these crony capitalists not thinking about manufacturing in Jamaica so that manufacturing can pull the people out of poverty. No. So it is a well-designed system. So what the crony capitalists dealing with, they are dealing with service industry. So within that service industry, all of these guys who sits on the board, the Brian Jardim, all of the crony capitalists, them, right? Robert Russell, right? All of these are crony capitalists who sucking the blood of the poor, taking away their benefits, right? And their benefits sometimes converted as it relates to election campaign. We are showing you how it works, how the system designed. And Andrew Holness, that is one of the reasons why. Right? When Andrew Holness, right, talking about beach access, is not going to give you beach access. Under Andrew Holness administration, take it from me, Jamaica, you will never ever able to see or get any beach access because Andrew Holness administration definitely is in bed with them. This is a vicious and wicked cycle that is happening in Jamaica, right? And Big Mama, right, is enjoying a part of that spoil. Help, you understand, to rob the country's revenue, right? Big Mama know it is true. Now, let us move on to the King Dracula. The King Dracula who's sucking the blood of the poor people. And listen to the hypocrite, Andrew Holness. Let us find this information on it, right? The King Dracula. Look how he believes that he's a Snake Isles man and that he's skilled and he can continue to trick the Jamaican people. Listen to him. Listen to him. Listen to the con artist.
If you are an owner of several houses, you can only get one benefit. Right? This is not for the greedy. This is for the needy. I have to be clear on that, which is why we do an assessment. We take your TRN. We make sure you are uniquely identified so that you can't get a benefit here and then come over and get another.
So let me ask you a question, Andrew Holness. Let me ask you a question. What happened to the 90% of hotel workers who are working on contract and paying their NIS, their NHT contributions, and all their contributions, and then at the end of their contract, right, they are cut from that 3-month contract, right, and a system that designed as a revolving door to have them re-sign and re-sign. What happened to those monies being collected by your friends? What happened to those money that been collected by Brian Jardim? What happened to those money that collected by the Sandals chain of hotel? What happened to those people money? Right? 90% of hotel workers being robbed by the hoteliers as it relates to their contributions that they have been paid. Hear what you are saying now. And this is how hypocritical you are. How are they going to get benefit when these hoteliers are not paying over their tax, their contributions to the government? Tell me, how are they going to get benefit? You coming on this platform now, talking about benefit, and about this is not for the greedy, this is for the needy. You're a piece of a hypocrite. What happened to the hotel workers? They have been working in the hotel for how much years? And your system, you in agreement, have them on contract work. And so that this benefit that you're talking about, you, Andrew Wallace, you liar, you know so them now get it. And here you are, listen to your sound, to show you how you're a scammer. Mr. Cash Plus, Mr. Olint, Mr. SSL, you're coming out and this is what you're selling now. Listen to you.
A benefit there, what that does is deprive someone who really needs a benefit where you would have gotten to.
Who depriving them from the benefit, Andrew Wallace? Who depriving them from the benefit? Brian Jardim depriving them from the benefit. Robert Russell being depriving them from the benefit. Most of the hoteliers, 90% of the hoteliers in Jamaica are depriving the people them from the benefit. Talk friggin' truth. And you coming out here, so you understand? They sell all of this now to the people. Your piece of chalk. Listen to you.
Twice. All right, so we're very careful in putting in place a system of accountability which is built from the assessment that is done to ensure that we get the maximum benefit to the maximum number of persons.
Are you ensuring? Let me ask you a question, Andrew Wallace. Are you ensuring that the hoteliers who collecting the people, the workers who are on contract, are you ensuring that these hoteliers are paying over the money to the government? Are you ensuring that, Andrew Wallace? And that these people can get benefit of the very same thing that you're talking about? And remember, you have damaged NHT a drawdown 11.4 billion every year. 11.4 billion, which is not going to allow the NHT to build low-income homes. Right? Because you have handicapped them by doing that. So what you come here so now to talk about, Andrew Wallace? Eh? Why you come here so now to talk?
Now, if you are an owner of several houses, you can only get one benefit. Right? This is not for the greedy. This is for the needy. I have to be clear on that, which is why we do an assessment. We take your TRN. We make sure you are uniquely identified so that you can't get a benefit here and then come over and get another benefit there. What that does is deprive someone who really needs a benefit where you would have gotten twice. All right? So we're very careful in putting in place a system of accountability which is built from the assessment that is done to ensure that we get the maximum benefit to the maximum number of persons. Now, if you are an owner of several houses, you can only get one benefit. Right? This is not for the group.
Let me stop and take this away. Oh. I am telling you, Jamaica. Right? This is sickening. Right? This is so sickening in terms of, you know, what we are getting there. Right? And he knows very well, Andrew Holness knows very well, that majority of the workers within the hotel industry being suffered under the contract programs. 90% of the hoteliers employed contract workers. So they are not stable in terms of getting the benefits. Not stable because it is a system put in place that the contract becomes a revolving door. The contract becomes a revolving door. Right? And this now makes it really unbelievable, my people. Now, let me show you, right? When he talk about needy, it is for the needy and not for the greedy. Andrew Holness, are you serious when you talk about needy? Let us show the people how you greedy. Let us remind you, Andrew Holness, how you are greedy. Look at this, Andrew Holness. Let us remind you how greedy you are. Because you seem to forget. So let me remind you of how greedy you are. Now, here it is, Andrew Holness. This is how greedy you are. Personal property and development. When you are making the emphasis that if you have more than only one homes, you only can get one benefit. And this is for the needy, not the greedy. Now, let us look on the greedy. Personal property and development. ADMAT Incorporated, St. Lucia. In 2009 and 2011, while serving as ministers of education at St. Lucian Company, ADMAT Incorporated, owned by Andrew Holness and his son, acquired properties in Beverly Hills. Not property, no. Plurification. Properties in Beverly Hills, St. Andrew, including the location where he currently lives. Property development and controversy. So Andrew Holness come, we could talk about the needy and the greedy. Property development and controversy. Reports emerging in 2017 and later concerning the construction of a house in Beverly Hills, with questions raised about the cost involved, which Holness stated was around 50 million. Though some estimates were higher. Let us talk about the needy and the greedy, Andrew Holness. Finsac property. You understand? When you come out and you're blaming the People's National Party about Finsac. Here it is. Finsac property. In 2002, Andrew and Juliet Holness purchased a house that had been acquired by the Financial Sector Adjustment Company. Let us take that away. So we are talking about the needy Andrew Holness and the greedy. Make me show you, right? Oh, when we talk about the needy and the greedy, let us show you, right? Who is the needy and the greedy? Right? Let us show you who is the needy and who is the greedy. Right? You're coming out, but this is not for the needy. This is not for the greedy. This is for the needy. Let us show you about you. New social housing program, NSHP. The Holness administration has been focused on building new housing units, including in areas like Hanover and Westmoreland through the NSHP. Large-scale housing developments. The government is undertaking a major housing project such as the 10,675 new housing solutions scheduled to begin construction in the 2026 and 2027 financial year. Now, Jamaica, we can talk about this. We can talk about this right now. Andrew Holness had promised over 70,000 houses to be built. Over 70,000 houses to be built. The NSHP, right, is the program that deals with low-income houses. And between Andrew Holness being in power from 2016 until now, the 70,000 house that Andrew Holness promised that he's going to build, Andrew Holness has not reached 30%. And see it now, see him come here now, the promise again, you know. Large-scale housing developments. The government is undertaking major housing projects such as the 10,675 new housing solutions scheduled to begin construction in the 2026-2027 financial year. Want to hear that, people? Now, NHT investment, the government has continued to utilize the National Housing Trust Fund to these. Right? Now, let us get to number 3 document. That is the only document that is there. Right? So, the bottom line of the argument, right, is that Andrew Holness, right, of the 70,000 houses that he promised, less than 30% delivered. Right? Let us get, you want to do the ring fence? Where is the ring fence? Okay, number 3. All right, let us touch Andrew don't pay. All right. Now, let me show Jamaica something. The NHT to be ring fenced. Let us do that. Number 2, NHT to be ring fenced. All right. So the third one, you have the third one?
You did that one.
Okay, so let us do the sorry about that people about the sorry about so Jamaica. Let us listen to this.
This year marks the 50th anniversary of the National Housing Trust. It was founded on a simple social contract. Working people contribute, and the state uses that pool of capital to turn income into shelter. Since 2013, however, the NHT has transferred 114 billion dollars annually. Nope, $11.4 billion annually to the consolidated fund. If extended to 2031, that cumulative figure every single year since 2013 will exceed Jamaican $200 billion. The opposition People's National Party has objected to the continued drawdowns, while the governing Jamaica Labour Party has said that the opposition's position is merely vulgar politicking. They did the same thing in the past as well. Well, to explore this issue, we're joined by opposition spokesperson on housing and sustainable living, Senator Professor Floyd Morris. Thanks so much for joining us, Senator Morris.
A pleasure, Julian. And good afternoon to your listeners as well.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Senator Morris, the National Housing Trust belongs to its contributors, but it's Parliament that makes decisions about how the money can be spent. They retain legislative supremacy. Is the objection that you and the People's National Party have about the removal of money from the NHT once again a legal objection, a moral objection, or a fiscal objection?
Well, I could say all of the above, because I think Jody, and when you look at the original mandate of the NHT, it was designed to build affordable houses for the Jamaican people. And when you look at the data, it is pointing to, between 90,000 and 100,000 individuals who are struggling to find a home in our country. And that problem would be further exacerbated by the hurricane in Western Jamaica. And for the government to continue its annual raid on the NHT to fund the budget, I think it's immoral, I think it's unethical. The matter was challenged in the courts by surrogates of the current government when they were in opposition, and the courts deemed it a fairly legal act because it came through the channels of Parliament. But the fact of the matter is that we believe that the NHT funds must be used to do what it is supposed to do. When we took out the funds in between 2013 and 2016, it was because there was a crisis that the country was experiencing at the time. The government of the day up to 2011 had abandoned the IMF program. We were on the precipice, so to speak, in terms of our financial arrangements internationally. And none of the international donor agencies would negotiate with us until we came to a clear package that would rescue the country. But that's how the NHT came into play at that time.
But since 2013, we have had continued removals of money from the National Housing Trust unabated. You mentioned that 2013 action. When Dr. Andrew Holness was opposition leader in 2013, he argued that taking NHT funds violated the property rights of contributors. Today, it seems that your party is making that same argument, that it's important that we be able to go back to that mandate and build houses. If the PNP then returns to power in the next election, will you do what it is that you've called for, which is legally ring-fence the NHT so that no future government, PNP that started that in 2013, the JLP that has continued since then, can ever touch this money again?
Yeah, we're not arguing the same thing as Prime Minister Holness did in 2013 about the violation of property rights, because I think the courts did settle that matter. But you would recall as well that the Prime Minister then said that he was not going to go that route and that he would ring fence the funds of the NHT. And he has made an about turn on the matter. And he has not just extended beyond the 2017 period that we had scheduled, but he has gone way beyond for 10 years and is now going into 15 years, because that is what they are going to be doing. But the fact of the matter is that we stated in the last election that we would have stopped the extraction. All right, we had stated it clearly in our manifesto and also on the platform, and the leader of the opposition has repeated that in the parliament, that we would have stopped it, because we believe that the focus should be to use that money to build affordable houses for those individuals, that 48% of the NHT that is earning $30,000 a week and struggling to get a house from the trust that they have been contributing.
Senator Morris, you have said, though, that it was an emergency that led to the first drawdown from the National Housing Trust. Since then, we've had COVID-19, an emergency, and most recently, Hurricane Melissa last year, another emergency. And the government has made it very clear that this pull down that they're doing from the NHT is necessary in order to make sure that we're in a good fiscal position to therefore get the loans that we need in order to rebuild. Is this not then an emergency situation that you might forgive them for going back to the NHT once more?
Let us stop that.
Well, I mean, I had heard long before.
Let us stop that. Now, Jamaica, let us just explain this because I just got another information as it relates to another level of wickedness and cruelty by Andrew Holness. Now, but let me just explain something before I move forward to that document. In 2013, when, as it relates to Portia Simpson administration, has to go into the NHT, one has to remember that, of course, Andrew Holness, Bruce Golding, and where Andrew Holness was in Bruce Golding cabinet, right, had damaged the economy, and where the IMF right off Jamaica. So it is not the same thing as it relates to what happened in 2013 and what Andrew Holness has been doing from 2016 until now. Totally different thing. Portia Simpson used that to shore up the budget as a result of the damage that Bruce Golding and Andrew Holness had done. Andrew Holness was in Bruce Golding cabinet, leader of business. As a matter of fact, between 2007 to 2010. And remember, in 2011, Andrew Holness was the Prime Minister. In 2011, people need to remember that. And then IMF write them off. He ran into, election was in 2012, and Portia Simpson beat Andrew Holness and have to now clean up the mess. And that is why, right, that money was used to shore up the budget as a result of what Andrew Holness and Bruce Golding had done. And to show you that this man have no conscience and no heart, him no say, him and Bruce Golding damaged the economy. And when Portia Simpson wanted to use that money, you understand, they want to carry Portia Simpson to court. But brought forward to now, look at him now. Look at him now. From 2016, him and can't come out of it. But Jamaica, bigger news. Look on this wickedness now. Let us go to the document that I just give you. And then after this document, I make melting pot come in. Look at the wickedness now, Jamaica. Remember Jamaica, we had gone through Hurricane Melissa. Me I show Jamaica say, this man don't have no love for no Jamaica. Right? This man have no love for Jamaica. Jamaica, look on this. This just come in. This just come into my phone. Look on this, Jamaica. Look on this. Imagine what we are going through. Melissa. Damage us and this crook. Right? Hear what he's saying now. Listen, people, look what the Prime Minister is saying. The Prime Minister Holness accept 28 million salary. It's up. With all the pressure that we are going through. Andrew Holness turning up the pressure. Jamaica, I show now. Turn up the pressure. Funny people, let me know. Now look on this now. Look on this, Jamaica. The Office of the Prime Minister, right, has announced that Dr. Andrew Holness will accept the full salary and emoluments attached to the office retroactive to September last year. Mighty God.
Never take him going to
so all the money people, Jamaica people, all the money what I'm saying never take, him I go take it now. Him I go, Jesus peace. Jamaica people, can we get it wicked like this? I want to say Andrew Holness. Jamaica people, all who say Andrew Holness, look here people, see ya. The office of the Prime Minister has announced that Dr. Andrew Holness will accept the full salary and emoluments attached to the office retroactive to September last year. Hey, Jamaica. Now, man. Jamaica. Listen to me. That means Dr. Holness will now earn a salary of 28.5 million. This is up from the current salary of just over 9 million after all one thief and rob up, you know. After all one thief, all one rob up, you know. The decision was announced in a media release on Friday, according to the Office of the Prime Minister, following careful review. Now, you follow careful review and internal consultation.
With who?
Hold on there, honey. And the careful review, whosoever you review with, and the internal consultation, whosoever you consult with, tell you that Jamaica economy under this crisis, and they told you to take your salary and plus make it retroactive from last year September up to last year September.
It was increased.
So then, who you done careful review with an internal consultation? I wonder if the opposition has seen this. It was agreed that the Prime Minister should accept the compensation structure previously set for the post. Me not reading no more further. Me can't take them pressure here. Me not lie. Take it away, honey. Jesus, peace, God of Daniel. No. This is a time now. Oh my God. No. No. Listen now, Jamaican people. The economic damage, mash up. They should be now looking now to reduce their salary. Hey, look here. Jamaica, you have to get up. You have to get up, Jamaica. There now should be Andrew Holness. If Andrew Holness they care for Jamaican people, he would say now to the parliamentarians, let us reduce our salary. Let us not put the pressure on the economy. The economy cannot sustain it. The Prime Minister is saying that he's now going to take this 28 million and make it retroactive from last year, September. People who don't know how much money that. So then, right then and there, the Prime Minister draw down with $56 million, you know. Roughly, you know. 56 million, him alone a creep out, you know. So hold on, Andrew Holness household, Andrew Holness, between Andrew Holness and Juliet. Andrew Holness, the draw down 50 million, that's all, because of the retroactive, because him start to accept the 28 million. And Juliet Holness now they walk with another $22 million. Mighty God of Daniel. And Jamaica people only sit down and take them something, yeah? Let me just ease and bring in Melting Pot. Melting Pot, what say you on this? What say you on this, Melting Pot?
Another two surprise on the people ever Andrew they promised them that
Mighty God.
The bitter medicine.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Because, you know, this guy is so disgusting that him hurt everybody, you know, the little baby them him hurt, you know. The elderly them. Yeah. Because there's no way Jamaica economy can sustain this high volume of salary given to parliamentarians. There must be some form of concern as it relates to the time period right now. All right, so it's already been granted, but use some discretion now. To cut back on something now. The Prime Minister should have put a benchmark now. You can say, all right, you want we have give back 30 or 40%. And this money have over a period of time.
All of them.
All of them, not just him alone. All of them. They don't expect him to do it on its own behalf. No. You cut back on it because at the time when it was put up on the table in an award, you know. Jamaica didn't have a bad crisis just to come out of the pandemic. You understand? And in decided right there and then to hike up the salary. Jamaica economy cannot sustain that. It is waning on the economy. Yeah. It's the highest budget ever put aside for parliamentarian in our crisis time. That is wrong. Yeah. But me could go through now some of them little garbage that we have come out with. Yeah, because that statement as it relates to benefiting per house. Yeah. That is wrong, you know. Yeah, when the Prime Minister come out and I say, you know, a single benefit per household and a shelter recovery program. But Andrew, if a man didn't even have 7 house counting at the assessment, you know, done by the World Bank, you know. That's why you get that amount of money, you know. So you can't tell a man we have him 7 house, have him 5 house, say I'm 1 year give him money for repair. Remember, him can't live in a 7 and 5 house one time, you know. So a house where people live in a.
Nothing pot.
You understand?
Nothing pot. Hold on there. Because I made a mistake earlier. The retroactive is from 2023 until last year, September. That is the retroactive. So he's going to be collecting more than $100 million, you know.
Then from 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. To last year, September 2025. Yeah, that's a 50 million over that 2-year period there. Yeah, so the household, the family them gone with 100 million over that 2-year period there.
Let's look at it. Cruel.
Yeah. Cruel. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
go
let
ahead.
me just, you know, continue upon this subject matter here. We know that the assessment at Jamaica, when it was done, it never asked who owned this, who owned that. Them do an overall assessment. World Bank did that. And the corporate project did figure, yeah, what it will cost Jamaica to restore and build back Jamaica. And so those statistic number was used, you know, to access the loan and the size of the loan. So every house must get fixed. Here, every single God Almighty house. So if the man have 5 house, you fix him 5 house. Can you get the money to fix every house? So now come with them garbage and them shit house here. Yeah, come and tell people right now. Cause that just mad you get people mad in a nasty criminal Andrew Wallace, you know. Cause you're not a prime minister, you know. The yet use the word prime minister when me I talk about you. Yeah, you're just a piece of shit house. A melting pot. Always tell the people them say you know prime minister material and you do not surplus the requirement. Cause nobody can trust a criminal, you know. Yeah, so we don't want you, brother. Yeah, come dictate to the people them. After the assessment done for every house, we make up the statistic of 150,000 houses damaged. But you have to tell man now, say if him did have 3 or 4 houses, on 1 recovery money again. Hey, Andrew, I don't want to tell you something on the program tonight, because big people around here, so you know. You understand? I'm respect the people them. But this way you get away in Jamaica. And because you have Jamaica lock under science. Yeah? And because you have the country lock under science, you know. My Jamaican people, when you say Andrew fly out to Israel and down in India, you know, down there the science there. Here, let me tell you now. And down there the science there. You understand? Benjamin Netanyahu we say him never invite him down in place. Yeah, but we know why him go down there. Me melting pot know why him go down there. And why several big men are back to Israel. Me know. It's the science down there. I saw the guy around the country and that. But me I tell you no say no, him science so bigger than and better than the people power, you know. Yeah? Alright. Now when you look and see where the man are going with you, so. Yeah? Him say putting in a place a system of accountability based on the assessment that has been done. Accountability now have no lot and part with this criminal, you know, because I'm not deal with accountability, you know. But when upon film side that thing where my thief, you know, where man the minister them a thief, there is no accountability. But you see when it comes to deal with poor people, much time matter about accountability. This guy can't have it two ways. You understand? When it comes to accountability, you can't have it over yourself protecting you, yeah, from being accountable for the things that you do. But over there, so there's no protection for the accountability for the people. Because here it is now, a man have 5 house or a woman have 5 house. The young lad give them one money, but them house was a part of the statistic number that the World Bank did and the assessment of the money that Jamaica would be needed to bring back the country and stabilize back the people in terms of housing. Yeah? So I can't understand where that guy go with this thing. Yeah? This thing, boy, may I tell you. And then again now, the manly put in NHP. This piece of shit you come with NSHP. We don't need no new social housing program. We have NHT there that is entrusted to carry out the work of building and supplying low affordable housing units to their contributors. Where you go with this NSHP, who like change up man letting them and treat the people like gonna bring in nothing. This is the same housing trust. Yeah? This is the same requirement that housing trust has been mandated with. So we don't need this. And you come and talk about you have a bill 10,675 votes between 2026 and 2027. Yeah. Garbage. Garbage. But my problem now, Senator Morris, you represent the People's National Party. And if you're a true comrade and a true affiliated member of the People's National Party, you see the question where the journalist posed to you, you go around it, you know, go around that, you know. It's a straight yes when she asked about ring fencing NHT money. Yes! Where you go around it, I go. Like you want to leave the loophole there for your time. Coming on the play business, we don't know, you know. We are said the thing for set how it's supposed to be said, how it was designed. So when you get a question like that, where you box up like go? You remember how them did come out at the People's National Party and join him team. When Mama P did have to use it via emergency budget based on why they're going with Jamaica and IMF. Where Andrew and Bruce Golding mash up the thing. Member participate of IMF money within 3 years. So a question like this and you have box shuffle around it, brother. Me not like the box shuffle instead. Can tell me you probably have pursued the same line like when the Labour Party them are do right now, you know. Yeah? NHT money belongs to the people, the working people of Jamaica. Yeah? Me have money in there when we don't get no tight, you know. Because we left it there. Me know several people left them money at Jamaica and I get the benefit. So me have to talk about my money we have down there. Me want a ring fence to go around it and protect it. I mean, I want no NSHP. Me no want no new social housing program. Me want it to remain under NHT Michael Manley banner. Wait you to deliver thousands of houses a year time. Me no want the Prime Minister to take my money and put it as part of central government money from NHT. Leave the NHT to breathe on its own. That is the legacy of Michael Manley. Yeah? So I don't want Andrew Wallace come take it and make it an odyssey amongst the people in Jamaica. Yeah, that is Michael Manley legacy. Leave it alone. Don't come blind for the people with no NSHP. That is shit. Good. So, Morrison, you feel me? Because what you be saying, you say it, you go around it. When the question was posed to you, as it relates to ring fencing the NHT funds that the contributor has given to NHT as an entity, you're supposed to have the bat like a Brian Lara. Yes. You dodge. Why you dodging? Why you stretch the conversation going at some different avenue? Answer the question. Then you can talk where you want to talk. Too much how now play this type of little Peter and Paul, you know. Two little blackbirds sat on the wall, one named Peter, one named Paul. Fly away, Peter, fly away, Paul. Come back, Peter, come back. We're not in a them garbage there. Jamaica need cleaning up. Jamaica need a surgical operation as it relates to where these people that the electorate have put them in office to preside over the governance of the country. And we have their fall foul of the law and the administration of parliament. It needs to stop. We are not sitting here playing no games with you guys who do not have a clear mind when it comes to answering important questions. Bob and weaving and dodging. Me not in a that. Oh, you think we'll get the country fixed? With workman I hide. When him fair work, you can't find him. It's the same thing you do a while ago. As a comrade, you're supposed to be a straight talker like Michael Manley. Michael Manley never refused to answer any question posed to him. Him take on all the rich and the elites them. Yeah? I want to know them are the CIA. That's why them never like him, because them can't go around this great leader. You understand? This great leader will bring together 45 more countries alongside Jamaica and make it 46. Him responsible for them and I guide them through a time when they were not looked at as a society. Third world them call with that mean and nobody, you know. And them say, yes, bring the third world country and the South Pacific island them together and blend them in as one and provide a new way for these countries benefit from what they should be getting from their natural resource. You understand? So the NHC money, it need a ring fence around it. It's not government money. It cannot form a part of central government annual budget to the tune of $11.4 billion yearly. It cannot. If NHT was using this $11.4 billion, remember Andrew just put $10 billion to fix up the whole of Jamaica, you know? The house them were damaged, you know. $10 billion input. So the 11.4 where I take is more than the 10 billion where I put on the table. Now if NHT was carrying out the legacy of Michael Manley and not the odyssey of Andrew Wallace and the Jamaica level government, then they would have been building house at the affordable rate. Them 20 million house Jamaican people would have get them anywhere between 6 and 10 million. You hear me I tell you now?
Exactly.
But the money gone in a government administration yearly, and I don't know. This money is the same money that Andrew and Julietta use to build out Jamaica upon them own. This 11.4 billion. Because remember the tax raise every year, you know. In pressure motorists, you know. So if me even fall short on tax, he would have it. But there is one pressure motorist because Big Mama sit down for 1.5 billion. Now pay it. How long and them get 10 right off. And there's many more PSOJ boys them. They get right off when I pay no tax. So the tax threshold now is in the hands of the poor. They have to provide that. They have to be taking up this burden of tax on the back. And I find that to be very, very despicable and rude on the part of this nasty guy we have. This wannabe prime minister. I'm not prime minister, so I can't highlight him now and using him. Wannabe prime minister. This piece of shit where we have a go around and mash up the place. I use some little garbage, some germs when recruit. But the whole of them have the same idea and I carry out the implication of Andrew, the nasty piece of garbage where we have. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Byron.
All right, Melting Pot. Now, we are going to, just show Jamaica something as it relates to, right, the level of criminality, right, that is apparently clear as it relates to Andrew Holness administration. And you are going to hear as it relates to how easy it is that if Andrew Holness plays into the judiciary, no two-way about it. is going to be prosecuted. I'm going to play something and I want you to listen. If Andrew Holness placed in the judiciary and to answer the questions as it relates to illicit enrichment, he's going straight, right? He's going to be convicted. No two way about it. So the DPP, the Commissioner of Police, right, and PSOJ, they are trying their best not to make Andrew Holness venture into the judiciary. Because if he goes there, game over for the prime, and he knows that. And so then the DPP is doing her endeavor best. The Commissioner of Police, right, is doing its endeavor best. Now, if it was a truthful democracy and not a banana republic, FID would have been responded. Now, Jamaica, what I want you to really think very hard. FID, right, as an institution that can provide clarity whether or not to say to the Jamaican public that, look, they have not found the Prime Minister guilty of illicit enrichment. And so then FID would say, as a result of that, the Integrity Commission investigators would have to now certify the Prime Minister statutory declaration. But if you notice Jamaica, if you observe quite well, FID cannot hand that to the Prime Minister. Why? Because the Integrity Commission investigators had dotted all their I's and crossed all their T's. They did not just target the Prime Minister just because they want to target the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister actions culpable as it relates to criminality, illicit enrichment, money laundering, and it goes on. And so then if you notice, right, the DPP, if the DPP wish, the DPP can start that proceeding with the Prime Minister. The DPP has the power to do it. The Commissioner of Police can directly have Jamaica Constabulary Force run an investigation on the Prime Minister as it relates to illicit enrichment. But they will not do it. They don't want to do it. Now, I am going to play a clip and show you. Now, in law, let me explain this. When you charge for illicit enrichment, as it relates to proof beyond a reasonable doubt, that threshold doesn't consider. And that is why it's very easy for the Prime Minister to be convicted. I want people to listen to me. It is not a situation that you have to prove your case beyond a reasonable doubt. What is going to be utilized is what you call a reverse burden. What does that mean? The reverse burden, what it means, it simply means that the Prime Minister would have to explain to the court all the assets that he have and make sure that he can give account for them as it relates to his income, assets, and liabilities. The Prime Minister knows definitely that he cannot do that. So FID is at standstill. Just imagine, FID cannot come out and vindicate him. Think Jamaica. If Fed cannot come out and vindicate him, Jamaica, something is wrong. Something is wrong. If the Prime Minister know that very well that he is not culpable, let us take it from the Prime Minister angle. If I am the Prime Minister and I know that I am not guilty, I am going to do everything for Fed to push through the investigation because I want to be vindicated. Think of what I'm saying to you people. I am the Prime Minister. I'm going to ask the DPP if I am innocent to investigate and clear me up. If I am innocent, I am going to use and allow all authority to do their work and have me vindicated. The Prime Minister cannot do that. If you notice, the Prime Minister cannot do that. As a matter of fact, the Prime Minister doesn't want to speak about the subject. This shows you as a critical thinker that yes, he's guilty. Now, let me play something for you. And I want you to listen as it relates to the reverse burden. And this is what Andrew Holness is facing. And he knows very well. Andrew Holness knows very well that if he plays in the court, it is over. He knows. Now, let us play this so that people can understand what I'm saying. I should have told you already. All right. Let us show you this, Jamaica. Listen to this so you can understand what Mystic Sensation is saying. Listen to this.
This is where Jamaican law gets interesting. They have this thing called a reverse burden when it comes to illicit enrichment.
Reverse burden? That sounds complicated.
It's not too bad. Usually it's innocent until proven guilty, right? Well, with illicit enrichment, it's flipped. The prosecution just has to show that you have more money than you should based on your income. Then it's your job to prove you got it legally.
So it's like, okay, you've got a yacht, but you make minimum wage. Explain that.
Exactly. And in this case, the Integrity Commission thinks Mr. Holness hasn't adequately explained his wealth, so they think the FID needs to investigate.
This is serious stuff. So what does this all mean for Mr. Holness? What are the potential consequences?
We could be talking criminal charges, big fines, even jail time.
Jail time. The Prime Minister.
It's possible, especially if those tax fraud allegations are true.
Wow. And even if he doesn't go to jail, this is a disaster for his reputation.
Absolutely. It raises serious questions about his judgment and his commitment to ethical conduct.
It's a good reminder that no one, not even a prime minister, is above the law. This whole situation reminds me of that other scandal with...
You know what? You're right. It does seem to fit a pattern.
Exactly. But we'll say that for another deep dive. Speaking of murky dealings, let's talk about that $50 million loan from Burita Investments Limited. That's where things get really interesting. So Burita Investments Limited, they're the ones who gave Imperium that massive loan, right? $50 million.
That's the one. And the report makes it seem like Burita may have bent the rules a little to make it happen.
Okay, give me the details. What did Burita do that has the Integrity Commission's attention?
Well, for one, they accepted a mortgage document for a property that, according to official records, isn't even owned by Imperium.
That's a pretty big oversight. What else?
It gets better. Apparently, they also approved the loan based on a verbal agreement with Mr. Holness. No paper trail, no formal documentation.
Now, I'm all for a good handshake deal, but not when you're talking about a $50 million loan to a company owned by the Prime Minister.
Exactly. And the Integrity Commission agrees. They're recommending that the Financial Services Commission, they regulate financial institutions in Jamaica, give Burita a thorough audit. They want to know if any laws were broken when they gave out that loan.
So now Burrito might be in trouble too.
It's possible. And it just goes to show you this isn't just about one man's finances. This is a whole web of connections, powerful people, companies, even government agencies. Makes you wonder what else is out there.
It really highlights how important transparency and accountability are.
100%.
Yeah.
The Integrity Commission needs the power to investigate these things, to follow the money and hold people accountable.
Because if not, it's like anything goes.
Exactly. And people lose trust in the whole system.
It's a reminder that no one's above the law, right?
Absolutely not.
Expert speaker, this has been fascinating. Thank you for breaking it all down.
All right, thank you to break that down for us. So Jamaica, I am telling you, right, that Andrew Ones cannot explain his illicit enrichment. Can't. Now, let me show you the evidence, clear evidence where Andrew Ones is going to get caught up. And it is the reason, right, that no matter how they try to save him, he cannot be saved. Andrew Ones is in a position that he automatically cannot be saved. Now, I am going to show you something, right, and show you definitely that Andrew Ones is in serious, serious problem. Look at this document that I'm going to show you. Bring it up. Look at this document. Look at this document, my people. This is what the Integrity Commission investigators investigated. And I want you to, I am going to show you clear that the Prime Minister, he puts into the court system, is going to prison. Going to prison. Look at this, people. 2018, the Prime Minister total assets was $112 million. 2019, we see a reduction in the Prime Minister salary. Total assets, $111 million. 2020, the Prime Minister assets increase. We see $131 million. Remember that the Prime Minister and his wife has to file together. 2021, it jumped to $197 million. 2022, the Prime Minister claimed that he only has $200 million. I am going to show you a project that has not been listed in the Prime Minister statutory declaration, that the Integrity Commission investigators, he did not tell them about this project. Go to the next document. This is the project that he did not tell them about. Look at this, Jamaica. Here it is, right in your face. Impossible to fix. Juliet Ones tells court her $800 million housing project doomed to fail if issues with access road not addressed. This $800 million is not on the Prime Minister declaration. As you see the 2022 statutory declaration, right? This year is May 18, 2023. When Juliet Ones started this project at lease flat, he bought the property for some $20 million. And the investment that she had spent as it relates to the current market value in 2023, here it is, 2023, the current market value for the additional, as it relates to the total investment that she had done, was roughly $800 million. Look, Jamaican people, we are going to go back to the first document, and I'm going to show you that this $800 million was not placed into the statutory declaration of Andrew Holness. Let us find out that document on it. So 2022, right? Nothing mentioned. This one item alone, just this one item alone, Jamaica people, is problematic for the Prime Minister. And remember, it is several issues the Prime Minister have. Several issues. So this one item alone. Look at it, people. See here? 2022, here it is. Total assets, 2022, $200,367,322. Nowhere in any of his yearly statutory declaration between 2018 to 2022, you understand? Nowhere, particularly 2021 or 2022, no $800 million. Take it away, honey. Had been listed there. But that is not only the problem. I am going to show you something. Based on certain investigation, we also found out that Juliet Holness owned other properties. Other properties that bigger than the 800 million property. And Melting Pot put up him finger, said 3 other properties. But I'm going to show Melting Pot something, that there is different property apart from those other 3 properties Melting Pot is talking about. Honey, find this document. Look at this, Jamaica. So, under no circumstances, Andrew Holness can get away. Let us look at this, Jamaica.
From beginning?
Yes.
Show the building. Show the building with Juliet Holness, aka Cowfoot, size 13 a build. See it, yeah? They got the whole of the road for run pipe and them thing there already. See it, yeah? Big old apartment, painting a blue and white. Yeah. 3 of them. Make you see it. So them are on electricity there. Yeah. Showing on the front part. Front part, yeah. These are the garbage bin, you know. So it's secure and everything. See that? Juliet building this. Big old building. Building look nice, see? Class. See them there. 3.
They never really Juliet Holness own this property. And this is one of many may hear. Now, them people are not wealthy, man. These people have wealth for generation after generation after generation.
Jamaica, this is serious. So this what I presented is telling you You see FID not saying anything. The DPP not saying anything. The Commissioner of Police not saying anything. You believe that they don't know this? You believe that they don't know this? Jamaica, don't make a fool of ourselves. I am saying, if Andrew Holness put into the judiciary, him gone to prison. Gone to prison. Can't explain his wealth. Let me put in melting pot. Pot, come down.
I tell you, my brother, this look diabolical in front of you as it relates to corruption. Because look like how you can put up the thing them in a Sir Byron and show the people them, in a chronological order. Yeah? You look through all the years them, see nothing representing that in 500 million. But them have 800 million project one place and two more concentrated within that same lease flat era that was bigger than the 800 million. You understand? And here it is now. We have to see some more thing. But I know she go on with some housing development down at the Kingston 1311 region there, Yeah, in a Portia constituency, Yeah, she come down there with it. Down at the ghetto, she start hide well them. And right now, she have a 2-phase apartment development out of Brunswick Road, yeah, near the old Ascot Cinema before you reach in a Spanish Town proper. We are development the right beside Sagicor Plaza. Sagicor, them have 100 other apartments out there, but them can't even sell. A whole heap of people in a bracket, as what we call society, are going with a bag of garbage criminality guy. All of them mix up in the drugs, and all of them mix up in a thieving taxpayers' money. Where Andrew and Juliet get this amount of money from? And what is their mission to build out Jamaica? Why? We hear now Shabal a new one down near Olaba there. Hey, Juliet, you got a prison with your husband, But I feel like him alone, Because remember when them come for one, them have to lift up two. They kind of join together, And you're nasty, garbage, Andrew. It's a scorn from the society of Jamaica. The things them on are going with, And so now graduate with all this and that, No what's on the ghetto youth them, Because ghetto youth not teach them size of money, And carry out them illegal activity right across the length and breadth of Jamaica, So this need to look at. But then, him have a DPP where him own from long time in a Paula Llewellyn. And she clown another DPP, Big Bicep Bullet, the beast. Yeah, when him Claudette Thompson and the beast that, Cause them no want beauty, Beauty surname was Campbell, them don't want she round there. Cause she attack up the things. You understand? And then say him handpick him commissioner them. Because the commissioner come off our lineage, Yeah? And right now, people are the farmer commissioner around things. I know the Google too. Are the farmer commissioner, Guy Smiley. Yeah? Also known as Ellington. And him around the thing. So it show you the high level of corruption. Yeah? It show you the high level. Because you might think of Google 2 around the thing and I say Google 2. Yes, but Google 2 a garbage still, but I not really him. You understand? And then Andrew have a police force within the GSCF where him create for himself. The way you expect. Jamaica must come like back in the days when you hear about the cartel them in Mexico, man, and Colombia, man. And that's a Jamaica gone, Drugs infested island. Narco state. Known worldwide. And you tie that to the high murder rate, then you see Jamaica gone. If you tie narco state to the high murder state where Jamaica is going to be, then who want Jamaica? That's why it matter to the people I mean voting was choose Jamaica. People live at Jamaica already. You can't choose something you have already. But I couldn't come in nothing else. You know, see it? But this now, yeah, I show you say once this guy ever touch the judiciary, him gone to prison.
Gone.
Because there is no listing of this 800 million where Juliet talk about, you know. Just that one alone, you know. I remember several of them.
Exactly.
So sometimes cock mouth have to kill cock and crucify the whole of them in one segment. Yeah? Because she come out, you know. I elaborate on our massive investment. Not going full of welfare. She don't supposed to have that money brandishing about.
Blew up herself.
She blew up herself. And it kill the whole of them. It kill she Andrew in a one stone till the two nasty bud. Keeping black about them where we have in our place. You understand? Because them down on a body, you know. Me talk it already, you know. Andrew and Juliet, if me run a church, Andrew and Juliet can't come in there. If me I preserve the philosophy of the creator, yeah, but we know we abide by the 10 commandments, them the two pieces of shit that can't come in my church. All when the church broke down, me no want them. My two representatives when me have with them, we hold the door, where you call them man there, again, them man there have to shoot them out. The two deacons have to shoot out them piece of shit there. Them can't come in my place. So anyway, you see Andrew and Juliet go, and say them at speak on behalf of the nation, using the biblical term. You know them church are corrupt. You know them church are get kicked back. Anywhere I'm going at church. And then give them mic. The pastor they are getting kicked back. Yeah? Because them like to use the church, you know, to draw down the wool over the people and face. Like them as somebody. Them are the biggest disgrace to our country. The thief in this couple Jamaica has ever seen. Yeah? A movie must be made off of them. A movie people who love theater, you know, and in the industry. They just go and write, you know. Because anytime we tackle them, we want to put out the premiere. Just go and write everything we want to know of them life. Nobody wait till end time them gone and all go script them. Go and do the right thing of the movie. That movie we have to make up of them two nasty this year. The husband and wife duo that has desecrated parliament. That has caused so much hardship amongst Jamaican citizens. Yeah? And them can't stop because remember, you know, it's when you give your life to certain demonic system where around the world, them can't stop doing them do until them get rid of them, you know. Yes. Them people that know more than you even think. That same nasty couple there know more than you think. You think I just politics are mashing up Jamaica? God Almighty, them have other affiliations stretch worldwide. Worldwide by people. No joke about it. They are so intertwined with corruption worldwide. It's unbelievable. See them go down to Israel. See them go cross over India. As well, head boy would have said. Yes, man. Around there, so the thing there, you know. Yeah, man. Them would have left Jamaica now with 120 beautiful river and go dipping at the nasty thinking dirty Gandhi. Who would have do that? The Gandhi represents something to the holiness. Everybody know about the Gandhi, you know, and the ritual performance, you know, and why it's been worshipped in that regard. No, you left all the way at Jamaica go participate over Gandhi. Wanna have man from down there, but you know. So it has shown them gonna seek higher science because we turn up the heat under them, you know. So it look like monkey man can do the work again with them require. So them gone over Gandhi. Yes. When the man get all this rusty bucket and the shovel, you know, plant the tree, plant all this over there, you know. A plant all the tree represent holiness. Holiness dirty. Is a man with walla walla. in a wobia, high-level wobia, that constitute demonic and sacrificial. Yeah, make sure they hear it like head boy. Cause me turn head boy tonight for the program, you know. Me know some sitting people. God Almighty has, hey, me have to staple up my mouth some my time. Trust me. In a hot seat, yeah, me know a whole bad thing, man. It sounds funny, but that's true. I talk all of the sport them. Yeah, but me could go back on the platform over there right now. With this whole heap of transformation at Jamaica landscape, but at the holiness them alone, I do it. Them bigger than Matalan, man. Them bigger than Matalan. You understand? Them bigger than them friend. YP Seaton where they are Mullines Road, because them linked to that in a people. Whole heap of contract, direct contract been given to YP Seaton by the holiness. You understand? A certain people them deal with. I did a video several years ago, just coming out of pandemic. Yeah? And I talk about the Chinese them in a Jamaica. It's for the Chinese them come to Jamaica. Jamaica get fucked, you know, people. Because the Chinese them only use, you know, as them contractor, you know. And them speak a language where you not gonna understand. That video was saying the same thing. You understand? Yes. That is why our three major builders, yeah, are not a participant of the Andrew Holiness them. Because remember, you know, you have the builders engineer, you have the architect builders in a Jamaica, you have the builders association, and then bypass them, and where you see him gone? China. Same way. In building Jamaica now, it requires China for the oldest name. Because you can't do the corruption and it run underground, it keeps secret. Yeah, you do it with the Jamaican them through the language barrier is the same. Then you don't know it might skip through and go through the grain. You understand, and reach out then at the main. Yeah, the Andrew no want that. So Andrew use the Chinese them as him cover up agent with all of these construction, not just his, but even the one them that the government sponsor, them road and all them things that them building there. Yeah, that's why with the Chinese them, they get a big piece of chunk of food, you know. Them say, boy, this look too much here, I give you some STEM school. And then, where the STEM school there, Andrew? Nastiness where STEM school there. Criminal where STEM school there. You see where you and your wife cannot build out. Jamaica cannot put up these apartment structure and all these things. Where are the STEM school? But we tell Jamaica people say the man don't deal with education for the nation, you know. The man come off of the Bustamante syndrome. A saltfish, well, saltfish now is the goodies bag. And that them use. And Jamaica people are fall down for them garbage. I make a little nastiness from St. Catherine. From the ghettos of St. Catherine. I angle place on an angle them lights up. And still a hold on upon them. But I know why I don't have to hold on, man. Yeah, I'm going to tell them the science that Andrew use. Yeah. It why I don't have to hold on. But I tell you, get some green lime and blue. And go back to yourself and release yourself from the Andrew Wallace syndrome. We have 120 river that is more sacred and more sacrificial to the needs of God people than the nasty dirty Gandhi River where Andrew and Juliet are going to take part in. Get to the ball of blue. On the lime, the green lime them. Go down the riverside, go get to the basin of water. Mix up on a thing, rub up on yourself from head to toe. And go cleanse yourself in the running water because Andrew science step on the whole out there. I don't care see it. I don't care see it. I don't know where I'm going. The country is heavily pinned under science. Pinned under science. Him bringing a big old nasty washer girl. We don't know data. Which part it end up? India. India. But them take up in a COVID time. And that's how the data there. Them I use it to make money. And I have this little piece of garbage in the country for so long. I mash up the place. How not gonna manage with $35 billion increase in tax revenue? The budget increased to 1.4 trillion. How not gonna manage? You think Andrew take the money out of his pocket? All of them money they are taxpayers have to put them together. I remember I not take from them big friend them. He's not taking from the corporate entity. Like Nancy thinking that the big mama we are still Andrew all this business that as well. But it not paying tax. So we have to understand where I'm going at Jamaica, you know. Me and Sir Byron and Lady and Marie come to the classroom and we set up classroom to teach. Yeah, and we are teach well so far. But if we not taking the teaching and realize, so well, then you know, say we have some top teacher here who come educate me, and we need to do better when them talk to it. We not going to reach nowhere. Not going to reach nowhere, you know. So we are saying, Jamaican people are under the government. Only elect Andrew and the rest of them to govern the thing. Don't make them trip, you know. Yeah, under the government, run out the nastiness and bring him on size 14. Because my sister she upgrade, she not 13 no more. Bring in this garbage up with him other half, which is them better criminal, because she look like she better than the criminality. Yeah? Bring them in. Get rid of them. And enjoy the demise of the holiness. And we need back the asset in the holiness. We need it back. Garbage, we need back the asset. You think them land away your friend at UDC? Wanna map out and a thief out. You think it go so who want them back? Who want back Pernell 2000? Who want back Donkey Face JC Hutchinson 1400 acre land? Nancy Hutchinson Donkey Face. But St. Elizabeth people have you down there for too long. Cause you look like your science rub off on them, you know. Cause I see them come out and demonstrate and I don't know you win back. So you look like you're a science guy, you're one of the top scientists in our party. So Jamaica is in such a bad state of affairs right now. Yeah? You can't just look on the ordinary. You have to look on the extraordinary. Yeah? Like the holiness them. Like round where you see the commissioner there. Yeah, even though I tell you say a guy smiley around things, but the lineage there, extraordinary, them can't perform all the criminality, you know. Them control the security. Yeah? And then when you look on the garbage and you know, him have a force for himself. When I'm using our time of election, him did say that, you know. Them they are disruptor, you know. That force they want to see out there, them just come out to just make sure no sir, the boss thing well at the end of the day. People who are criminal, them take a put at the post. And so everything now is just like a ghost. I yield back the floor to you, my host.
All right. Thank you for that melting pot. But we are going to be going into more serious issues. Right? We have been here and we pointing out several wrongs being done as it relates to extrajudicial killing. But now this situation has reached Indicom, and Indicom is now speaking out on the issues that we had spoken out on as it relates to extrajudicial killing. Now look at this, Jamaica, right? And it's really sickening in terms of the level of criminality as it relates to what Andrew Ones is doing, and simultaneously, right, using the police, right, to kill most of the youths. Now, this is January 2026. Make note of that date. 21 Jamaicans killed by security forces so far. Right? Remember, I know. January 2026. Right? Look at this. New data from the Independent Commission of Investigation, INDECOM, is showing that as of January 19, people, as of January 19, this January 19, some 21 Jamaicans have been fatally shot by the security forces. 21 enough. January 19, 21. This is the 14th consecutive month. Listen to Jamaican people. This is the 14th consecutive month in which 20 or more people have been fatally shot by members of the security forces, a trend that began in December 2024 and has continued through January 2026. Want to hear that, people? For the corresponding period last year, 28 people were killed by the security forces in January 25th. Just look at that, you know. The figure so far this month already places January 26th above the monthly threshold that has become a consistent feature of the state's involved killings. For 2025, Jamaica recorded 311 police fatal shootings, representing a 65% increase over the previous year, which INDECOM described as a troubling 2025. The sharp rise has intensified scrutiny of police use of lethal force, even as authorities point to ongoing confrontations with armed suspects. Police officials have repeatedly stated that fatal shootings occur during confrontation and in circumstances where officers act in self-defense or in defense of others. However, the instances of fatal shootings have continued to draw concern for human rights advocates and oversight bodies. In response to accountability concern, the police have reported that they have received 1,000 new body-worn cameras. But where are they? Are they wearing them? Are they using them? We have heard a senior superintendent of police, you understand, telling the team that he led, or telling the team that he is leading, that they are not to wear body cameras. And can you imagine the senior superintendent of police who's going on active operation telling the team that he is leading not to wear body cameras? So obviously, they are definitely going there to kill extrajudicial killing and move aim at improving transparency and strengthening evidence gathering, and they are still not wearing body cameras there. They're still not wearing them. Take that away on it. Now, let us dig a little deeper. Now, this is INDECOM again, right? Listen what INDECOM is saying again. This is bad, Jamaica. Now, the Independent Commission of Investigation says it is seriously concerned by media reports that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is pursuing active investigations into allegations of police involved shootings involving 2 police officers without any notification to commission, formal or otherwise. Now listen, people. In a statement on Thursday, INDECOM noted that the JCF is legally bound to notify the commission forthwith of any incident involving conduct by its members that result in the death of or injury to any person. The Act expressly mandates immediate reporting of such incidents to the Commission, said the oversight body, which is mandated to investigate incidents involving members of the security forces. The failure by the JCF to refer these matters, so they are not reporting them. They are not reporting them to the INDECOM. The failure of the JCF to refer these matters to INDECOM undermines the statutory oversight framework established by Jamaica's parliament and compromises the transparency and independence intended in investigations of alleged police-involved incident INDECOM charge. The Commission said it has written to the JCF High Command requesting an urgent meeting to discuss the matter as it seeks to ensure strict adherence to statutory requirement in current and future incident. So the police, based on what this is saying, they are breaking the law. They are breaking the law. And so then whenever they so-called engage as according to their statement as it relates to anyone being killed by the police, it ought to be reported to INDECOM so that an investigation can be carried out. But what INDECOM is saying now, that they are not, the police are not reporting such incidents. And why are they not reporting such incidents? Because obviously they are in the wrong. They know that many of the killings that they are doing, right, extrajudicial killings. And that is an ultimate wrong, my Jamaican people. Because if you have policies put in place and established protocol put in place to say that, okay, if, right, that you have any incidents that involve in shooting or any injured to any citizens, right, you are to report it to the INDECOM oversight body. And if the police know that, the Commissioner of Police know that, but yet the Commissioner of Police continue to have his men, right, going out there, one, without body cameras, two, doing killings, right, injuring people, and not reporting those incidents, you understand, to the INDECOM. So I don't understand how you are a police to protect and preserve the laws, and at the same time you are breaking the laws. I don't understand. Under this Commissioner of Police, right? If you said you're here to serve and protect and reassure, and you are protectors of the laws, but you are breaking the laws, obviously. The Jamaican people have also witnessed that not only that you have just breaking the laws, you have also involved, right, in illicit drugs and all of these things. You have one unit that's supposed to provide oversight on other police unit. Now look, let us argue this, Jamaican people. You have CTAC that's supposed to provide oversight for other police agencies. But the CTAC, the oversight entity, caught up in drug smuggling. It is so bad that CTAC office becomes a drug distribution hub. And according to high-ranking police officers who are speaking out on these things, this is not a situation where social media is just speaking out. We have played the audio. We make people hear it. You understand? And where police is saying that CTAC members, right, seize 5,000 kilograms of cocaine, and they had stolen 4,000 kilograms, and the 1,000 kilograms that they put in inventory, right, put in storage, they went into the storage facility and stole it. Right? So when you look at this behavior under this Commissioner of Police, under Andrew Holness administration, Andrew Holness has not come out, not even once, and categorically spoke out against these drugs activities. Not even once. So Jamaica, we have a situation on where we have a prime minister in office that cannot explain his wealth, obviously, right? Stealing from the poor, and really and truly, right? He has no moral compass to speak to anyone. We have seen, as it relates to the Prime Minister's statutory declaration from 2018 up straight up to 2022, has no mention of any of the properties that Juliet owners own. No mention. We have one property as a claim to Juliet owners herself. Juliet owners out of the mouth of Juliet owners, saying her $800 million property needs to be fixed. And that 800 million has not listed in the item of statutory declaration that the Integrity Commission investigators are investigating. So what you call to these things? Oh, the Prime Minister that leading a country, what sort of example the Prime Minister is setting? So there is no shame as it relates to CTAC game. These police will not bow down their heads in shame. As a matter of fact, they are proud because you know what they are saying? The Prime Minister is the biggest crook. So what do you expect me to do? If the Prime Minister is the biggest crook, don't cry shame on the CTAC policemen who involved in drugs. Don't cry shame on the inspector. It is just all for a show. All for a show. Who is going to look on those police officers in court to say shame on you? Tell me. The DPP and the prosecutors who are going to be prosecuting these police officers who involved and caught up, who has the moral authority to say shame on you? Tell me. Not Andrew Owner's administration. Andrew Owner's administration, right, is just not an example to follow. Because obviously, the Prime Minister administration involved in all sort of illicit means. From illegal campaign financing, drugs, run-ins, and a minister so, a WikiLeaks is so, the Deputy Prime Minister, Orestram. And when you look at all these things, they had lost their moral compass to speak to anyone in Jamaica. So a scammer, an ordinary scammer in the street, feel that he's doing something honorable. Because if you try to speak to that scammer is going to say, then the Prime Minister not the biggest scammer. Prime Minister the biggest scammer. And he would be correct. Because the Prime Minister found himself in Orient. The Prime Minister found himself in Cash Plus. The Prime Minister found himself in SSL. And what do you think the Prime Minister has been doing? You believe that the Prime Minister, okay, all right, do honest investment in Cash Plus, and after the fall of Cash Plus, he did not aware what happened. He's totally oblivious that investors had gotten hurt in Orient. The Prime Minister who joined Orient in 2006, and where investors got robbed up and him benefited millions of dollars Do you believe that the Prime Minister don't aware, totally oblivious, that investors had gotten hurt? Now to tell you how the Prime Minister is so wicked and cruel and lion thief. The Prime Minister said him no make no money out of Oland. Then if the Prime Minister did not make any money out of Oland and the Prime Minister lose big in Oland as he claimed, then why after you lose big in Oland, you're gone into cash plus? This is one of the reasons why you cannot come on this channel, you know. Because you would have to explain to me on this platform that Prime Minister, you said you have not benefited in Oland. And you have lost $3 to $4 million in Oland, which you know it is lie. Then what would convince you, Prime Minister, after losing $3-4 million in Oland, what would convince you to go into cash plus? The Prime Minister would have to answer that question on this platform. You see, I'm not trying to ask the Prime Minister any tricky questions. I will tell the Prime Minister the questions so that he can prepare. He's not going to come on the platform anyway. Not going to come. So you're telling me now that, okay, you're telling Jamaica that you lose in cash plus. You lose in Oland. Then what influenced you to go into cash plus? And okay, you lose in Oland and then you lose in cash plus. Then what influenced you to go into SSL? No, let us reason, Jamaican people. We are reasoning. Because the Prime Minister said he had lost big time. Now for me, if I put my money in cash plus and I benefited from cash plus, it is going to entice me to also put my money into Oland. And if I benefited from Oland, it is going to entice me to also put my money into SSL. Because Andrew Holness is running with those folks, right? Who, of course, Andrew Holness is at the top of the pyramid. Top of the pyramid. Andrew Holness always plays on top of the Ponzi scheme pyramid to be benefited. So Jamaica, let us argue this now. The Prime Minister who is supposed to be protecting the country investment. The Prime Minister who is supposed to look out for investors and protect them in order to protect the country's business and preserve the business and build the medium and small enterprises. Learn to balance macro, right? Economics and micro. So the Prime Minister, right, who said, okay, all right, you are providing leadership over the country. But this is what you are doing now, Prime Minister. You have now linked up with criminals, as a matter of fact, convicted criminals. You have linked up with criminals, right, to now be a part of Oland. And let me ask you a question, Andrew Holness. Who got robbed in Oland? Innocent people who tried and a trial little saving and a try to spin a little dollar. Investors. And you and few people who place yourself at the top of the pyramid take with the people their money. Take with the investors their money. Hurt the investors. In Oland, you have damage as it relates to over $5 billion. Let us go back and look, people. Andrew Holness doings and his hierarchical friends, criminal network, and rob investors over $5 billion in Oland. And where did they secure that money? Let me tell you, NCB, National Commercial Bank, NCB. Not only that, after all in damage, what the Prime Minister do? So the Prime Minister pattern of behavior is showing you that the Prime Minister has been Ponzi scheme upping from one Ponzi scheme to the next Ponzi scheme. Robbing investors in the first Ponzi scheme, which is Olint. And then launch himself again into now Cash Plus. And what he had done, rob investors. Again, the Prime Minister literally, this is not funny, you know, Jamaican people. The Prime Minister literally placed himself in these investment Ponzi schemes to rob investors because the Prime Minister know that he placed on top of the pyramid. So he robbed investors in Olint. He didn't satisfy. Went into Cash Plus, robbed investors into Cash Plus. He didn't satisfy. Went into SSL, robbed investors into SSL, including Usain Bolt. So then tell me, Jamaica. I want you to tell me, Jamaica, that if we have an icon like Usain Bolt, and the Prime Minister and his thieving conglomerate don't respect an icon like Usain Bolt, do you believe that the Prime Minister is going to respect me and you? You and I have not lifted up Jamaica the way how Usain Bolt lifted up Jamaica, and the Prime Minister did not care about that. Andrew Holness and you, Croskery, care zero about that. I am telling you the level of wickedness as it relates to Andrew Holness. Right? So why should we be surprised when Andrew Holness is now after Melissa and people are suffering? Some are dying. The healthcare dilapidated. They rob from the healthcare. Plunge on the healthcare. Now the Prime Minister taking the $28 million and he wants it retroactive. He wants it retroactive from 2023. Think of that, Jamaica. Think of that. Make we use a comparison as it relates to Burkina Faso. What did Ibrahim Traoré do? When we talk about leadership, Ibrahim Traoré look at his country and know that his country is in a dilemma. What did he do? He instructed all the politicians to take a 40% wage cut. Remember, Burkina Faso has not faced any Category 5 hurricane. But a leader who cares for his people is saying to the world that I have to put my people forward. I have to put my country forward. And he instructed the politicians to take a 40% cut in their salary. And what did he do with it? He had given it to the civil workers. He had given it to the civil workers. Because Ibrahim Traoré care about his nation, care about his people and the building of his economy. What Andrew Holness care about? Andrew Holness only know how to rob the Jamaican people, how to suppress the Jamaican people. Because you know why? The Jamaican people allowed it. Don't stand and wait. United States is not coming to help us. The Republican, they are capitalists. So understand the politics that you surround yourself. The Republican are capitalists. Now, I'm going to give you a statement what Donald Trump said to show you how powerful they are with the evil and wickedness. Donald Trump once said that if he goes out in the street and he shoot a man dead, he's going to be protected. He said it. He actually said it. So let me ask you a question. Donald Trump, even although he has the shit on Andrew Holness, he will tie with him. And this is telling you, Jamaica, that Andrew Holness sold us out. Sold us out. Our sovereignty is in peril. Let me warn you, Jamaica. You can't say I didn't warn you. I am telling you, Jamaica, that our sovereignty is in peril. And I yield back. Let me have melting pot. Juggle on. Pot.
Yeah, man. Why, me I tell you, so the thing hot here, right? You know, the pot well boil up, you know. Derby. Yeah, man.
All right, my brother.
Why, it is sad that it took Indicom so long to state the obvious of what we know for a long time, Sir Byron. But them say, better late than never.
Yes.
Them also have another phrase that said, too late shall be your cry. You understand? But me like how Indicom come out now and I highlight that as far back as 2024, right up to this blessed moment, 2026, Andrew force of a mandate figure of 20 Jamaican citizens to be shot and killed every month.
Yeah.
Boy, I mean, I tell you.
It's bad, but it's true.
That bad, brother. That bad. No, if you look on that, you know, right up to this blessed moment, a 530 Jamaican citizens, them unalive. The Andrew Holness administration, the Andrew Holness force, police force. I remember, you know, as much as a film force, them still take order. So you have to include the administration. Yes, my people. So when we look on that now, 25-month period, yeah, what we say, 530 our citizens, the black and the poor from the ghetto, where Andrew Holness, him administrator, and him newly created police, the Andrew Holness police. People who don't need to know about them. This are them number, 25-month period, 530. I remember all from the ghetto, the black and the poor. They might take out one. The man will say, nah, go down. Him rather talk on the cocaine up at Evandale. Well, them knock him so you can't take the one off of the list. Yeah. But when we have them problem, people, a serious problem, it show you how Jamaica run. Under what type of administration Jamaica run. What type of police force we have. I work with the citizens. Them rub out, serve, protect, and reassure. These guys are shooting people like Yalor. Okay. So no more protect and reassure than they. Them just come out and murder with citizens them. So when you have a guy like Miller now, we say Beam Squad, him no want them wear nobody camera, you know. That serious, people. That serious. No, we know why them not using the video provided by the citizen. Since them not have no body camera. Ramario Sterling.
Huh?
That is plain and obvious. Javar Parkinson. That is plain and obvious. The insane man from down a mandible where them claims a chopping father where them give over 14 bullets. But we are watching it live. That is plain and obvious. When you look and see bigger than I do him work and the man them analyze bigger than while on his work. That is obvious again what they are doing. When you go over St. Thomas, where them did have this young man in a custody, I release him and I capture him back and release him and put out a statement so they must kill him. My Jamaican people, so them go the early morning when the man get ready to go and walk and go analyze the man in our house. And we have the sound and we have the footage. Don't see anything I done. So Miller right when him say him no want them to wear no name body camera. I remember that was a directive order from the Andrew administration and him administrator to the Andrew force. Don't wear none, just go there and analyze. That is why you see all police have stopped some youth like them go play football and I come back. I want plant magazine and the youth them car. And have a man down the road and wait for them. Cause them I get the description of the vehicle and them I come out and stop it and them youth and go out the car, them and the wrong door, them will stop, them are law abiding, them going to stop. Not knowing that they will be unalive. And Andrew Force come set them find magazine and gun in the youth them car. Jamaican people won't do man. And this one want is really this type of nonsense you want in the country. Where the police force cannot be trusted, the army cannot be trusted either. Now Michael man the time we love to see the soldier them come out was a guy we stand up and look for soldier. Cause them was well respected and they respected the citizen. But in this modern time, yeah, when this garbage come promising the first world by 2030, you know, see the man gone way below third world. The man gone way below third world. The man worse than Idi Amin. This guy, this piece of shit, where Jamaica have a harbor in the parliament as a wannabe prime minister, he need to be arrested, man. The guy kill up so much people in Jamaica, it's unbelievable for him coming and type out with some little garbage. We and Henry and the whole of them are run out about crime statistic down. It shoot through the roof, in the come can't take it, but too late shall be in the come cry. But I am welcome it because better late than never. But me and my brother them know it long time and I beat it. Right now the message I reach, you know. You can't tell people say the message I reach. I know why the message have to reach. Because everybody have feel the third term. Everybody have feel the third term at Andrew Wellness. And I remember the third term, if we not halt the train, me don't know if we not can make it to the fourth term with him, because I'm going to kill out the whole of black people and represent with Asian population in Jamaica. We not see that go on, people. We not see over 200,000 Chinese down there, no see them work, you know. Yeah, I don't think Jamaica workforce the 200,000. I remember, alongside that 200,000 Chinese, there are several people from India in our place working, taking away the bread and butter from the black and the poor. See, black and poor can buy toothpaste, can buy a loaf of bread, and reduce themselves to slice of bread and squeeze a toothpaste. You don't think that just happens, so? Nah, man. That was created and designed by an evil, wicked bastard Gonna have a wannabe guy that call himself Prime Minister because he's not Prime Minister material. And I went telling you why he's not Prime Minister material again. Any 25-year-old coming up politics in 1997 could not pay student tuition, but come into politics with 47 million. God Almighty. This is a serpent from the highest order. And so, since Andrew Wallace has taken the reign of Jamaica in his hand, what he has done, he has ride the ass and the chariot into a brick wall. Crash it into a big wall. Right now, everybody I feel it. Every God Almighty soul I feel it. All private sector now come out and I give them views. Yeah, stating the obvious where we know you cannot increase tax when you have a situation like what Jamaica just come out of. When people still live under tarpaulin, people not get back them out. People still not have no job to go because them sector not up and running back. People still not have no light. People not have no water. Everything is just like how Hurricane Melissa come and destroy it and leave it. They have not done anything. All they have done is PR and lying to the people. Because Andrew wants to take all the 6.7 billion US dollars for himself. We know what I'm doing with the cat ban already. We know what I'm doing with the CRIF. Yeah, so that is a 240 million US dollar right there, so we are talking about. Yeah, we know so them take 50 million from the net reserve. Where are the money they got? We know the vast amount of relief that come into Jamaica, the relief program. Like the item to get people, you know, in a state of you can't eat something or you can't drink some water. And Jamaica people them a drink and treated water from river. We just spring up after the hurricane. It wasn't there. The people them said them go there and see water spring. That Andrew Holness reduced my people them life too. And have several thousand bottles of water hidden in them warehouse. Have a vast amount of food supply in them warehouse while the people them out there ball and do TikTok video. A ask to help them hungry, them thirsty. Them little baby were just born cold out a door. And this nastiness for our money. A big mansion up at Beverly Hills and several more up there. And several more all around the landscape of Jamaica. And I come talk about one assistant here get even if you have 5 house or 7 house. Eh? But the statistic was done on all the house. You know, this guy hey, this guy, man, me I tell you, man, this guy, Jamaica wanna do with him. Wanna have the criminal in the parliament for. You think him stronger than Uno? You think him nasty JCF him create? The man's guy Smiley and Google too. You think it can overpower Uno? So what happened? Look like Uno weaker than the national heroes them from back then. Cause remember then them fear and them use and fight people with gun, you know. And Uno down there pose up on yourself like Uno a monster. I'm afraid of crab louse. This guy a crab louse, so man stop afraid of crab louse. The man all who him have around him, them a crab louse. Them a suck on the blood. I wanna sit down there with the garbage and smell up the place. Eh? Jamaica stink of corruption, man. Come on, man, I wanna do. That need to clean up now. When you have a guy cannot be certified, them give him a leniency, you know. Because them a talk about from in the 20s, him can't certify. Melting pot, no one can't certify from 1998. From 1998, this piece of shit house cannot be certified. Him on the big old size 14. None of them can certify. Because me I tell you, you know, you see that piece of shit the one I sit down and I see. Bush House Speaker. She a nastiness. She a criminal. She a mafia. She's an outlaw. Because she not stick by the law. Yeah, so she becomes an outlaw. She must be hunted and rounded up by the JCF, the so-called JCF. Sure, we so no can do the work. I was soon run out, you know. And we in Cameron, you know. So we know Google too. We know you break new grounds. So you can't hide the back, so you can't go behind you, you know. Because remember, is there in the differential between Wayne Cameron and Andrew nasty thinking holding it? And him big size 14 foot, where she look like Incredible Hulk. Tell me if there's a difference. Well, I know about one difference. Ungla sex gender between the male and female. You don't need to go for them. And them you see. You tell me, you know, people. Yeah. People when they come off on a good table. People with them family background no process no wealth. Not Benesard. And your father was a farmer when he born and still is a farmer. We see him with here. I understand the mother was a civil servant. And that made Andrew, the twin brother of Pablo Escobar. Same alignment. Taxi mother and father do the same thing. Yeah? But when we look on them people here and how wealthy them become. Remember Melting Pot Post talk on any platform, you know, so them are super billionaire in the region. In a CARICOM, the whole of CARICOM. There's no husband and wife that have what holiness them have in a CARICOM. Super mega billionaire them become from nothing. And them they call story from Max to Riches. Yeah, but them don't get for them one through any means. More than criminalization, stealing from the taxpayers, using taxpayers' money to build themselves over a vast period of time. This must be stopped. This has to stop. And you and size 14 cannot tell Jamaica how them come by them well. But everybody see them now. Them bigger than Matalan. Them bigger than them friend YP Seaton from Mullines Road. Them big man. Remember, hey, we use something to hold a guy responsibly, you know, and accountably, you know. The guy get a planning permission, you know. We build up one of them project. I want to see people where him go there and change it. Him change it. When the people from the planning agency turn up and say, but hold on, this don't look like what we get the man. Them have licked down some section. Them have create all more unit within the unit. Size 14 do the same thing. She build more than what she's supposed to build up a lease flat. It tell you people what it's shown in a black and white. It's shown in a technicolor. Them do ya a big time criminal. They must be rounded up. By all means, JCF, we don't need to go round up the holiness them. For too long, we've been offering them protection. So I want to know what is the deal. Was it to steal the cocaine? I must put something on the table for you, you know. That's going to know I'm going to film, you know. Was it to confiscate the drugs and then take it as part of, you know, where my have, Me want to know if that, you know, because hold on, TNT that's drug dealer now. So we don't have no police force. Yeah, soon after crash C-Tax there. Because C-Tax was a department store, restore cocaine and distribute it themselves. You can go up there and buy a pound like how you buy a pound of flour at the corner shop. Yeah, I saw them run up there. So when we call for civil society and say to civil society, this now going to get better if we don't continue with this garbage. This wanna be prime minister. It's not going to get better and one business are going to go down because of people and their purchasing power sustain business, you know. You know, see, the garbage reduced the Jamaican people them to ruins. to ruins. Him reduce them life in tatters now. You understand? 4 months now, the guy can't deliver that team 20,000 at the 100,000 house. Just put it there, sir. But yet still, in our first interview with outside journalists, him said country will be back up and running in a couple of weeks' time. Jamaican people are strong and resilient. This garbage. Couple of weeks' time, you know. And I know people out the same way. Not change. The only thing that change is that them become accustomed to the life where Andrew put them out there to live now. That's the only change. Them become accustomed to the life. But in terms of what they're supposed to get, the attention from the government, that is non-existent. Nobody can see no attention. But yet still at the guide is where you see come and change up some things, change up some plan, change hard payment into hard pen, and the real hard pen this now. When take a guy from the army named Alvin Gale, remove Richard Thompson, as the man in charge of the original hard pen, put Alvin Gale in a Richard Thompson space and have Richard Thompson a mentor Alvin Gale. What can go so? Bypass Sir Marky G request of an independent body to provide checks and balance. And now, a couple of months time, yes, and nothing cannot be added in there. There's too much variances in ADPEM when just commission with here. That not telling us that the guy is a masterpiece, a shit criminal in the place. He's a masterpiece of shit. Him on size 14. And you would have now as them lieutenant. Pumbas! Him a them lieutenant, you know. I'm going to show people why him a lieutenant there in Andrew. You see how much thing Andrew have under one portfolio. Who is next in line in terms of having more than one? It's Pumbas. Pumbas have what? Ministry of Mining, Energy, Telecommunication, and Transport. Afford that Pumbas have. It's only Andrew have more, so Pumbas must be the lieutenant. Okay. So this is why you see them two, they always in a shit pit with the taxpayers' money. This is why Pumbas can underscore the value of Jamaica asset. But in reality, he never underscore it to the extent where I look on it. He just take off a little bit and say, I'll put out that. But you know, me have a fly come to Mexico. Now hardly saw man a yard. Come collect the rest. Yeah, my Jamaican people. So everything is plain black and white. And if somehow want to look on it in a technicolor, but it's in front of eye. What are my Jamaican people doing about this? These people that do not claim to be a friend. No, see how no money them a rob. How no family money. But yet still una embrace them. When them go in the bucket and spit in the bucket from where them thief from before them come go to something. Right now, Andrew make sure pack up all the things that will come in to go no. When campaign time a come up. You don't even know some of them are go out of date. Some of them are go dead. Because them think they should have distribute long time. But Andrew have them pack them up in a car. Him know no love goodies. Him know no love a little bag in our hand. Him know so no love see some van with Pumbas face and it comes full with some goodies bag and you know, get them. And where am I going for Easter? Easter around the corner. I'm going to tease him, you know. Because I have to put some of them face on some bun. But make sure, Andrew, you can't come in the bun this time, you know, because it's sweet. I remember you put tax pan sweet to substance. I mean, no bun sweet. So me I watch you if you come in the Easter bun with no face pan it. Me I watch you know. Because me a man, my eyes them pound different, you know. Look like it now focus, but it a focus. Me I watch you know with the Easter bun. Remember how to put tax on sweet substance. So you can't get the people in the sweet bun. Make sure you take that off on the agenda on no shit house, I discriminate the people and I mind them integrity with handout Easter bun. When me I grow my people, them can't buy them bun. We don't need a politician to give in a bun. As a matter of fact, politician never pursue along that line. What politician was doing in them time was running the country properly. And who was the man in charge? That is Michael Manley. Here? So we not grew up on that. Where we get a nutritious thing at school, planting tart, veggie patty, and we have different range of milk substance from dairy farmer on a shit house, Come and trick the people, man, through the people, my belly lick and belly wap wap. Them sit down and take out on the handout black bag. We look at a country we're supposed to be first world. I be a black tank, but we have 120 rivers. I don't have the whole of the pipeline them up a Mona. Pack up on our property. We don't now run up water to the people, them black tank. They want to come full of place with container, a piece of nastiness, yo. Go put the container in Beverly Hills, make a friend them shoot you up there. Because them would get so disillusioned with you that one of them would get mad and papa off him gonna bust one in your nastiness. Where you carry the container them up there? Boy, you want to get Jamaican black and poor people container house to live in. When we have NHC where you rob 11.4 billion from every year for the past 10 years. And you want 5 more years. Piece of shit house. And the people them sit down with you. I make you come tell them about if them even have 5 or some 1 payment them again. Your sister, wanna sell out on yourself to a nastiness. Wanna sell out on yourself to the worst couple ever exist in the entire world. 2 of them are criminal. Judgment upon them 2 picnic. So Andrew, if you feel you can keep the legacy of Jamaica and put it at a gift packet for your 2 boys, them judgment upon them melting pot say that. I mean, know more people endorse that too. You know how hard we work? We build Jamaica. And you come take Jamaica and it on a platter silver plate to your 2 little garbage son them. Cause them should I tell us that this don't look good. Them big enough now for rebuke your nastiness and them mama. But them sit down, yeah man, fool them on, man. Yeah, feel good cause them father teeth the whole of Jamaica come to them. But no piece of shit house, Jamaican people are time on the wise up here. Time out no wise up. Understand, say, that the man I use. And him a refuse, at an alarming rate of 20 every month. I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right, my brother. All right, my brother. Yes, melting pot. Beat them with the sledge. Right? One and only melting pot. Now, let us get into more deep dive, right? With our situation. Right? You're clearing these clips. Right? Let us get into, right, Andrew Honest, right, pressuring us to pay tax, and simultaneously he's not doing the same. So let us get into that, right? All right. Now listen, my Jamaican people.
You know, we don't take taxation lightly. It is literally the last resort. But we have to present to the people of Jamaica a credible budget, meaning that the people looking on what we propose can have confidence that what we're doing will be to their benefit and will prevent future need for more severe taxation. So what we're going to do now, as the Minister of Finance will present, would be to put in place a package that does not impact the poor, that improves our health and general well-being, in addition to securing the revenues for us to be able to address the new demands placed on the government by Hurricane Melissa. I think the public should remember that the damage as assessed by international agencies with a high level of credibility is approximately almost $9 billion of damage, more than 40% of our GDP. So I don't believe that anyone could reasonably expect that we could present a budget without even a limited tax package. So we're not going to dwell on the taxation. It is something that, as I said, it is the last resort. We have gone 10 budgets without any net new taxes. And the reason for the taxation is not because of government profligacy, not because of wastage or bad policy. It is because of a super phenomenal event, the third most powerful hurricane that the earth has ever produced, struck Jamaica and has caused significant damage, expenditure that we can accommodate in our general revenues, and therefore we have to go to some taxation measures. So I think, however, when it is tabled and the public sees it, I believe there will be a significant understanding of the measures. I believe.
You know, when you listen to the Prime Minister, and as according to what he said, that he was so measurable in terms of ensuring that the tax package that he's presenting is not going to affect the poor. No, it's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And so the Prime Minister expect of all of us to pay our taxes, and so on the country can, you know, meet its budgetary plan. But let us look at the Prime Minister. Let us look on the Prime Minister. Bring up this document. Companies linked to owners file nil taxes. Let us remind the Prime Minister of this. So the Prime Minister, you know, encouraging us in terms of, you know, paying taxes and so forth, while this is what is happening with the Prime Minister. Companies linked to owners file nil tax returns despite millions in transactions, says Integrity Commission report. And that's why you see when you have this so-called of a Prime Minister, a scammer that, you know, disguised as a Prime Minister, camouflage himself as a Prime Minister, but literally scamming the people. Now, this is what the Prime Minister is doing with the country's revenue. The Prime Minister, as he robbed investors, is now robbing the country's revenue. Now, this is not me saying it. It is the Integrity Commission saying it right here, that companies linked to owners filing tax return despite millions in transactions, says Integrity Commission report. That means what the Prime Minister filed is false. Jamaica, this is what this is saying, you know. That the Prime Minister filing a nil tax return for those companies, those same companies making millions of dollars. So then the Prime Minister is now guilty of filing a false nil tax claim, frauding the country. This is what this means, people. An investigative report into the statutory declaration filed by Prime Minister Andrew Holness has revealed that 3 companies linked to him, which had transactions totaling hundreds of millions of dollars, filed nil tax returns for 2021 and 2022. A nil income tax return indicates that a company falls below the taxable income and therefore did not pay taxes during the year. So, simple means that the company, as it relates to the operation of the company, right, did not make any profit. Right? The Prime Minister filed that on that basis, saying that these companies, right, did not make any profit to file any tax. Now, in the 171-page report tabled in Parliament Tuesday afternoon, the Integrity Commission Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, raised tax compliance concerns. The Prime Minister of Jamaica robbing the country's revenue. The report said the Prime Minister is connected with or had financial interest in the 3 companies, Imperium, Positive Media, and Estate Bridge. It said a forensic, examination of bank accounts attributable to owners and the reference companies for the period January 1st, 2020 to June 13, 2023 reveal intercompany deposits and withdrawals of what? $473 million and $427 plus million respectively. And the Prime Minister filed nil tax. What sort of man are we dealing with? What sort of person are we? This is not, no, I'm a human being. This is a reptile. The report said the financial statement provided by owners indicate that in 2021, hear this now, people, Imperium earned at least $5,121,000 in dividends, exchange gains, and interest. Still, Imperium, solely owned by owners, filed a nil tax return for 2021 and 2022. Oh, no, look on that now. Look on that, Jamaica.
Criminal!
Look on that, melting pot. Positive Media management accounts and statement of comprehensive income for 2021 submitted by owners indicate a total income of 20 million. Right? The report said, notwithstanding, Positive Media filed a nil tax return for 2021 and 2022, indicating that the business had not engaged in any revenue generating activity over the 2 years of its existence. You don't hear that, people? You don't hear that? This is the Prime Minister who's supposed to respect our tax system, This is how the budget can be prepared through solid planning. We have to pay our taxes. And the Prime Minister is deliberately dodging taxes, evading taxes. And yet, here's the Prime Minister now coming out and taxing sugary substance. Look what the Prime Minister is doing here. And yet the Prime Minister is taxing sugary substance for poor people and said, I am well measurable. I make sure I do this not to hurt the poor people. Now, Jamaica, look at it. For Estate Bridge management accounts, the report said the statement of profit and loss accounts for the year ended December 31, 2021 show an interest income of 1 million. The report said despite this, Estate Bridge filed a nil tax return for 2021, which means that the business had not engaged in any revenue generating activity in the year. Further, the report said over the period March 2021 to May 2022, a fourth company, Green Emerald, provided loans now to Positive Media to the tune of 20 million. When you look at that, you know, and appeared to be in operation during the reference period. And the man lie. Tell the company, file false claim. Green Emerald filed a nil tax return for 2021 and tax return declaring income 350,000, you know. 355,000, you know, in 2022, you know. We can't make up these people. Take that away on. When I look at this situation of this man, the viciousness and the wickedness just continues to flow. And Jamaican people just, hey, look here. Mr. Sarif, Jamaican people, you know. If we not come together and get him out, you know. Jamaica, hey, listen to me. On a can't say we never the one, you know. Jamaica, listen to me. On a can't say we not come one on a day and we not come one on a night. Right? Larkland said, ask him the question. Any government in history ever announced taxes after a disaster? Exactly. Maitland, Larkland, let me bring in Melting Pot for shop him down. Melting Pot, come, because you are going to close the show with your response. So close out the show for us.
Well, my response to this piece of shit is that, you know, at time him start lock up him mouth now, because it smell up the place. Yeah? Less him say, the better for him. Because everything where him come with that shit, you understand? Him come and him make reference using Hurricane Melissa and selling it on him platform, identifying Hurricane Melissa as the third worst hurricane in history. But I like the demographic terms them use. I'm the PR stunt guy and I'm the soundbite guy. I went reply to him in kind, right here and now. What the third term would represent the third worst hurricane in history. Yeah? So when I talk about the third worst hurricane in history, that identify being third term are the worst in the history of politics. Yeah? And when him come on to it now, we are going to show him again where we find very solid, and when we talk about solid, you know, comparison of what Andrew talked about, the third worst hurricane. Yeah, that represents the third worst leader of Jamaica, because him and a prime minister, you know. And the rest of them, when I put behind him, them on lead Jamaica down a blind alleyway. So them a lead that. Them the prime minister govern country. Yeah, so that third thing they now represent Edward Seaga, Bruce Colin, and the nastiness Andrew Holness. Yeah? So don't come talk about the third worst. Because remember, you know, this can't be the third worst in your administration. You benefit. It trigger the cat ban category 5. You benefit. Because remember, Nigel Clark set it up. Nigel Clark is a part of the Labour Party. So when you did set up that, yeah, you are Nigel Clark. You know what that set it up for? You know, sister, phone yourself. The Jamaican people benefit from the cat ban? The crib? No. Boom bars, you don't get to distribute that. Remember, Leka get 100 million for bringing trucks, for GPS, You remember that, not tender, That was a direct contract she get. That no go through no procurement or nothing. So we know how to run the place. Alright? So, where Melissa is concerned, Melissa has given you a lifeline to trick Jamaican people again, because you done the lifeline pan the election, Broke the country, Melissa give you a lifeline where you can go beg, where things are come to you, where you take the things them for yourself, the generator them with them there. The whole heap of stuff them with them there, say all Pumbas and them friend them at the food to start like them and all them things there. Eh? Sister, I own a benefit, and the people them still sit down in a limbo. A kimbo every day. I hope and pray that you might have a change of heart and come and help them from the suffering. But you cannot change your heart, because your heart can't change. From your born out of your mother's womb, you're a criminal. That's why you have controversy with who is your real dad. You understand? So we know say you're bad breed, bad getting, bad everything for Jamaica. You're the younger guy we have 3 fathers just like the third term. 3 a third, Yeah, just like your third worst hurricane we had put Melissa to bed. Melissa the best for you and the party. On the trigger category 5 hurricane. On the draw down the money for yourself. I remember, I know Jamaica no benefit from it, and Jamaica no know what to do with it because we're not liar, and every liar is a thief. And that's why me say, me not hear from the people with 80% on a GPS. Because them supposed to come and hit the road too, and come talk. Them silent, you hear from them. You hear all type of shenanigans. You hear from the guy from the local ground who in charge of down the general manager. Him talk one thing, Pumbas talk the next thing. Yeah? And them say people bad mind in the parliament because feel them priority to get the country up and running back with light. I know people not get light. I know people still in the darkness. I know. So we are asked the question, yeah? And we are said to ourselves, say, what the guy take Jamaican for? The guy take Jamaican as illiterate, when I no sense, we done, we not say that the guy a portrait. Yes, my people. Yeah. But Jamaican, I went down back to one particular scenario. But from this on, should I get rid of this piece of shit here? You remember when him go in a parliament, I show overhead footage at Clifton, like today, and by a morning early, him carry out the whole of the army and the police force, along with Narcy, Dennis Brook, where them claim at the time was senior strategists, and them demolish the nice houses them in that beautiful community that our Jamaican people were building. But we don't notice what happened. It turned out to be, and this is just melting pot views. It's not the views of the platform, as in Byron views. Turned out to be that Andrew did have somebody that sell them people the land, Yeah? Or you think Ward Brown get to know about the land then? Because she was implicated as the person who sell the land to the people over there. So the people was no illegal squatter. People pay for them land. One little young girl say nearly $1 million. 800,000 she pay. You understand? Yeah. She barely live in high water. Come mash it down. Turn them to be squatters today. Yeah. Next time them say no, they are not squatters. Yeah. So no due diligence never done, But then it turned out that Andrew close associate Ward Brown from around him place. Where we see she and him in a photo op thing, a cut ribbon with the school where the Chinese build around him place. She sell the land, you know. When you hear anything happen after that in regards to she being a criminal, it was protected. She sell the land them for Andrew benefit, man. That's how Andrew operate, you know. You eat a food and me eat a food, and that mentality is a piece of shit you have. Yeah, that's why when it busts out, provide her with protection. And then when you know, them do a little PR stunt, bring the girl in a parliament. We have bring her in a parliament, Pastor. You just smash down our resident. We have bring her in a parliament. Back. All me, you can't move me, you know. You have to fully compensate me. I want back my land money. Because the woman will sell me the land. She tie on upon you. You nasty Andrew. You use the woman to sell the land. Because so you rob Jamaican, you know. Because you know Jamaican have a way of fashion in them one thing, you know. Using them phone call over some maybe them friend, family member than Jamaican are kind-hearted people, loving kind-hearted. They will assist. So no call little girl that said sometimes she didn't have lunch money. On the bus fee and she got work $300 a day, $500 a day. And out of that blood, sweat and tears, she build a house. So we know, say, you know, like poor people to them and I need good house. That's why you want to bring container house, come give people your nastiness, you. Your piece of shit house, you. Why you never take some of the same people and put in your mansion? Because you're size 14 and the 2 boy. Not supposed to be not such a big dwelling, you know. Show some compassion. You could have taken up some elderly people and offer them, and some babies and offer them rescue. That would have look good. Yeah. So your thing are good. And from Yassok over Clifton, Jamaican people, especially women, should have rise up on your piece of shit house and get you out of the place. Them sit down there and make you trick them and sweet them. Yeah. Sweet them with goodies bag and bring them back. Push by you didn't have them before and like not never happened over Clifton. This is Jamaica people who are too short-minded. Yeah. And you could not do that in any other first world country and get away with him. We'd always see him get away with this act of criminality. We said the man couldn't look like him sleep with size 13 a night, you know. Early morning, down the man with people wake up with the army and the police, helicopter, bulldozer, all type of thing, and a nasty piece of shit house near Magla. Where them say a senior strategist. Senior strategist for what? Be up a big mama. Most senior strategist be up a big mama. You know, see the nastiness brother dragon for other colleagues up a Constant Spring over cocaine. And them garbage Andrew put up in a high places and pay them millions of taxpayers' money. This guy is not a police to begin with. He's a bodybuilder magla who big mama them like to see him strip down and show him body in him shorts. Yeah. And Andrew do what? Make sure no say him give to big mama. Andrew give magla to big mama. That's why I'm read over there. But true we are born him shoot him up in a police. We never know people leave from media house to police force. God Almighty. Jamaican people are not blind. And the fastest DC this ever move up in a ranks. Because remember Andrew have to facilitate Big Mama principle, you know. Big Mama said, this piece of shit here, Magla, look nice. You know what them prize? So I want you to elevate her into high office. And the piece of shit move from there, so. And the we up now, we up I get over $12 million a year salary. What can go so? Because Andrew have to give Big Mama what he want, and Big Mama give Andrew what Andrew need. Andrew need Big Mama to tell lie, spread corruption, do deflection, so him can participate and continue him daily corruption where him go on within Jamaica. That's why you see Magla move from nothing to something in no time. Run past everybody when the nasty criminal Andrew Wallace force. And with the way up there, so. But yet still every man in there CBM. Me don't know where can go so. But 12 million and other go to him annually. Yeah. Depend a mill and little bit a month, you know. A mill and little bit a month, the piece of shit Magla depend salary. So you put that in perspective over 12 million a year. You understand for what? The Magla in front of uno, on a freaky lifestyle. That you don't have money and pay a guy for the take a strip down a Magla in front of uno. Okay. Well, all of them things they have to go end, you know. All of them they have to end. And me I say one thing, you know. One job me want at Jamaica, you know. Enter the table turn, me want to be the bailiff man. Because me I confiscate every loot we have, every building we have, me I take them away. Every God Almighty building we have, me want them back to taxpayers. Me want the bailiff job. When the table turn down at Jamaica, let me show no bailiff work. Because remember, you know, me do them, me study a lot of things become apparent, you know. Me tell you, say me a head of security, you know. Me show no. Think I joke business and me work. But see that? Head of security. I mean, I was telling this, me are the younger man where I think ever work with two opposition leaders. I work with Patterson. Me are the last security left Patterson place. Yeah? Yeah, me are the last security left Patterson place and them time me can't tell you which company I provide the security. Protector. Them they are Beachwood Avenue. Okay? Yes. License firearm duty me I do that too. None of dog business. License firearm. One from a company and one belongs to Patterson Yard House. I'm a come to England here. I'm a provide security with David Cameron. So me know when it comes to retrieving things. I want the bailiff man job. Where the table turn down the car, I take away the thing the way I know no rob, you know. I mean, I'm not chatting with you know. Nobody can stand on my way because me have the file for the thing them on the rob already. You cannot hide them. On the bank account, you want them frozen. Okay? Yes. You traveling document frozen as well until me decide which part me I put on permanently for rest. I mean, I talk about I need to grow. Me I choose place like Rockers Island and them place there, you know. I want to know Jamaica on germs. I want my place clean and fresh. You know, there's no up on the island. You know, shit out size 14 and Mr. Craven, eh? Yeah. Crave for the taxpayers' money. Oh, garbage, you know. And people still are run around behind them like what people think say. Eh? When our Lord got a master of Jamaica, people don't wake up, you know, them are evilists. Yeah, them are the evilists couple ever said put in a Jamaica. Tell me, I tell you no. Them worse than rich. Them a vampire. Husband and wife thief. Sucking the blood at night. They wake up in the morning and feel paralyzed. They drain even though I sleep when I go to bed, go sleep. Because they wake up with what? Problem pound the brain. How the screw them a go to school. Where the food that come from for breakfast. Not even that, you know. You can't gravitate to again, you know. So when you go on the bed and you're supposed to rest and wake up rejuvenated, but you wake up with pain on the head. And so the bad words start cuss from early, because frustration kick in. While them nastiness there, living the time of their life. Yeah? Having the time of their life. Experiencing the time of their life. At the hand of our poor black brothers and sisters. I yield back the floor to you, Sir Byron.
People, all right, my Jamaican people. So definitely, we're getting a call from Sister Pat. All right, let us hear what Sister Pat has to say. Sister Pat. All right.
Good night.
Bless up, Sister Pat.
Good night.
Good night, my sister.
Light still at that?
No, man. He might listen to you.
Man, I listen to you. I'm glad for you. You're kicking too. Come in, come tell piece of your 2 cents.
I beat him bad, brother. Brother,
well,
let me tell you something. Because she said, Andrew, all this are mad.
Well.
You don't know, she said, oh, mad.
Crazy, yes?
I don't know, she said, who don't know, she said, the let all this turn duppy. Living duppy, look nice face. Living duppy, the woman does get ugly. It look like some mummy.
Mummy return.
Eh?
Mummy return.
Yeah, more if you ask a question. We sure no Andrew Wallace wicked. You raise tax.
Man, wicked
and
man.
And he never take in pay. And he never take in pay now. I look here. I smell rats say he never left office, so he might try secure other one can get.
I believe so.
You feel say star ma come now say ma button up. And if you look on Daryl Valls, good. But him attack, look on his shoulder them. Look on his eye them. You know, she said they had doping done. Their nerve or something is not right. I don't know what it is. This man I got tell people what to come from the diaspora, come home and come breed.
You crazy, crazy.
You, eh? Oh, you thought of something? Eh?
Crazy sister Pat.
Why not breed up?
Come on, come breed. In having wife, when not breeding wife.
My wife just say, you know, I am mentioned it, but when I use Juliet Owens and Rhoda Crawford for that.
And all of them in that parliament, they can breed Babsy.
God Almighty, Mr. Pat.
Mr. Lee get 2, and we want Van Chilani and get 2.
Why is it? Well, Anna, why say Andrew Holness need to create miracle in terms of breeding Babsy?
Yes, man. Read them.
They want to mummy return. Flavor.
I'll shoot to breed all of them. Who can breed like or breed figure? You inject them. Let them go breed.
Why sister Pat no easy?
Who can breed in natural way like how we breed? Inject them. They are home. If they roll, they are home.
That's true, man.
And I got to tell you, and the next thing, you know what hurt me with Andrew Wallace? Before I try, you have many attitude and many ways and try. The man I got to tell the people, the young people, them say, the bureaucracy. Like people don't know what bureaucracy means.
Exactly.
It's not for them to fix. And them who are coming to go fix it. What a ranking, dirty, fierce man. Eh?
Think of it.
Eh? Don't just take your look panic good. Just look panic. All this man rank and think about himself. Darrell Valls, he come like a some ghost ride you. You're supposed to torment. What are torment? What are the Jamaican people? Almost say money no help, no? Money no help, no? Is a wicked. Me say, man, when I sweet this thing, me see it on social media. What woman, when you so burn Mark Golden, burn PMP, pick up Andrew Wallace, big up, he's saying go to the hospital and he read that dead before he go back in there. He said he wants one wheelchair, and his ribs broke up.
Yeah, man.
What pain him a feel, and him in that tell nobody to go down there, and I just see one when we are start. And him a show a video with the people on the ground. Brother, may I beg God no make me see. Father God no make me see. I'm every God that may I beg God. No, the woman we are JLP, blagger, we are big up on the walls, cut down PMP. The woman saying a pain, and he read that dead before he went to the hospital. And he left for the hospital and more pain more when going there because he have muscle span. And he have that time when he sit down in a chair, in a wheelchair or chair for he mash up your ribs. Eh?
I'm telling you.
No, look funny good. But me tell them the worst is yet to come. And Jolis, the shit come here. And you know, give the Cuban them the aisle or whatever them to get. You're going to suffer. What Cuban has done for this country will benefit you. I about 1972 and benefit you all away. And look, you turn your back on Cuba. All because you mix up in a mix up. You go and near me, you know what, before you're dead. And I heal back. Have a blessed night.
Thank you, Sister P. All right.
Why will you beat them? If you might listen, you're supposed to, sleep tonight, He never sleep. You must go to get some powder or some alcohol to drink, but he can't sleep.
All right.
Wicked shit. Yeah, man, big up.
Bless yourself, Sister P. All right, folks, that is where we end it. Let me just hand over to Wifey to close us out, right?
Okay, guys, as usual, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful and blessed weekend, Melting Pot.
Blessings, Melting Pot.
Thank you so much.
Big up, big up.
Bless up. Safe travel on the gravel, guys. Until next time.
All right.
I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister around the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want to right there that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.